lane matchup. We're going to see Emo versus Ori. Going into this tournament, I would have said Emo 100%, but like the last couple of days, Ori has really stepped up his game. I've been super impressed with his play.
Yeah, there's no doubt he was the big question mark, not so much Emo, in this lineup right now. Trying to figure out, like, okay, where's Ori been? Like, they're winning some games and stuff, but it felt like he was sort of struggling, and then coming to the main event, you really need that clutch factor coming in your mid lane, and he has stepped it up, and I feel like he's at the point now where I need more out of his teammates too. Like, he's done his part. I really feel like his gameplay's improved so much that if the allies, the Hez, can do that similarly, VG can go very far.
Well, and so far this bottom lane doing a lot. Old 11 and PYW already putting some of that pressure onto FlyFly on this race king. You can see they're not letting him down. Even with that chainmail, they're keeping the right clicks in and also killing off the courier.
Very
bottom
nice
going
stuff
great
here. Top lane though.
Going a little bit now, trying to take down Kaka, get a couple more of those punches in, but the battery assault turnaround, not able to catch him in the cogs. Tree in there, got some separation.
Man, so much action all over this map here. And yeah, of course, the mid lane, we haven't really discussed this that much in terms of the matchup, but Lina ran out for, like, doesn't really lose many lanes, of course, and so Ori, you're expecting to start stepping up here pretty soon as you hit the level 4. And probably going to see Emo just playing a little bit less, like, actually in the lane itself.
Right.
I doubt we're going to see any rotations for the kills. If there is, though, Kaka, you know, maybe he finds that lucky angle where he comes in with the cogs, pushes Ori back into the river. But they have a ward to help protect against that. That will be expiring pretty soon from VG.
You can see Root comes out there from Emo and trading hits again to make sure he gets that.
You really wanted that range creep.
I mean, Emo's going in on this now with a lot of HP. The Fairy Fire comes out, needs to break the Flame Guard. Is it going to be enough? Living on nothing, Ori. About 10 HP right there.
No, PYW.
Oh, moves over to the side.
These
get a couple right
hit
clicks.
real hard.
This could be pretty good, but Phoenix moves into position, and that's going to stop the pressure. Still, good aggro from Emo.
Yeah, I mean, creeps are strong, but they're not that strong, unfortunately, to help out PYW there. But rotating in, and unfortunately, though, we also had the rotation coming from Kaka. He guarded that water in up top, so Emo's going to be very happy with the current situation, forcing the full walk back there from Ori. We'll have to TP back in. And, you know, you saw earlier in that top lane, though, where DY is actually, like, trying to fight back with some harass. It's not one of these combos that you would expect with the Brewmaster, right? You don't have the Cinder Brew into, like, a cheap spell that's really easy to toss out. You don't have this big mana pool. Like, we see, like, Venge Brew, so you can just, like, Wave of Terror, activate and everything. Yeah. And, yeah, I mean, Polio comes over to help out, but that's costly.
This is still going to be a good kill if they can get it. Can they finish him off? Oh, the slowdown comes from the Shockwave. And then the salve up afterwards, able to get out like Kaka.
And Polio still holding the wave through all that at the very least, so we'll just go right back to farming while dishing out some damage, but nice salve there from Kaka. And also just going to get in there and make sure he has the block off there too. So no stacks for you, Vici.
Yeah, nothing given for free, that's for sure. As down bottom, you can see the pressure is going to be mounted yet again. They got this side pull off by Vici and now going to connect the wave to it. And it's really hard for FlyFly to walk in there. Every single time they keep on getting that pull off, it's just a couple of creeps that he ends up losing. Right now, level 4 on the Wraith King. As TP back home, should be able to come back out with the Remnant afterwards. As PYW has to back away. Ollie doing some good damage. Trying to secure the 6-minute rune, but with Emo coming over, this might just be a freebie. As they move on in, LSA won't keep PYW alive. Emo ready to keep that pressure on, and up top they also find the kill onto JT.
Oh, that one was a long time coming too. Polio really putting the pressure on JT as much as he could, and sort of just like waiting for that moment where when you throw out so much harass, at a point the mag is just gonna like keep playing in the lane, right? And just be like, yeah, you keep lowering me, but you're never going for the actual kill. And so that's all basically a bunch of conditioning there for Polio before they actually bring over the help from DY for the secure. So very well done there. Also gets a D ward inside his own jungle there. It looks like Kaka placed down, so solid start here for the 5 Brew. I say that, you know, and now he's being ganked by Emo, so
yeah,
maybe not so solid.
I mean, it's hard to take him down. He's got a lot of HP on this Brewmaster, one of the reasons people like him. And in fact, with the rotation over from the Lion, they're able to get DY out. So and not bad.
Yeah, the lack of boots there on Kaka as well, right? Couldn't keep up with the battery assault, and despite being just a win late, it's already at 330 for the Panda.
Currently the lowest net worth on him, but getting some levels here and there as Polio already up to level 6, has those treads done. Looks like they're trying to get into that Echo Saber, and also we're seeing JT get into that Helm of the Dominator that's becomes so popular. God, this hero just feels so insane every time we watch it.
I love the players that really utilize that Helm of the Dominator to the full extent too. And with this idea of IG wanting to play pretty fast this game, it can be an amazing tool. Down bottom.
Going on to ult 11, looking for the rundown. Do they have enough for the kill though? Don't think so. 1100 HP and a soul ring. This guy's strong.
Yeah, phase boots too, working towards that Midas. And as the panel mentioned, ult 11 looking to be the richest, already there.
Yeah.
Up by a significant margin compared to his own teammate on the Tiny.
That is not easy to slow Doom down, particularly when he gets a good start like he saw there, right into the first blood. PYW looking for the stun to open this one up on a Kaka, but there isn't a clean opening, so we'll just hang out there as Emo farming very low in the jungle, and it's going to TP back home to regen. But yeah, those early rotations, and it looks like now VICI feeling comfortable just sitting back in their lanes and not really doing that much to mix things up at least. They're getting farmed on all their heroes.
They've read the forecast, you know. They know the storm is coming from IG. That is most certainly the plan, right? But there's a few things they want to check off first. They want to get Kaka, the level 6. They want to get that Helm fully finished up there on JT, and then probably smoke with the creep, go for some kills, and then start threatening some towers. Fly wants to be activated early in this game too, going for that armlet build, so expect the pressure to come here soon. As PYW smoking in here, probably just a warding mission, as you want to try and scout out where they want to set up this smoke, right? And so wards deep in your enemy territory early on, even if you don't want to get aggressive, they're so good at spotting. Of course, we always talk about the courier rotations, but just for people who kind of want to like back up, group up, and smoke. And they're actually just going to transfer the smoke right to the mid lane. Kaka goes left, but he hoped he would go right.
Well, Emo might be the bigger one to go for. Walks in, gets the Earth Spike to open. Follow up, no, there's TPs coming in. Now they have to be careful on Vici, and in fact, PYW might just end up falling here as Emo and Ollie move into position and can't get that denied by the neutral camp.
Not the play they were looking for there on side of Vici. They finally get some aggression going, gets turned around on them. So excellent stuff there for IG considering where this game wants to go. And yeah, that's a bold play.
And then pretty deep, able to trade over aggro to the creeps, but still caught in these cogs at ult 11. He's just gonna fall. Most net worth in the game gets dropped by Kaka.
Yo, Fly was bluffing there too. He'd been holding the point for so long, but he'd actually spent it. He did not have one left for the ulti.
Oh. I mean, yeah, that would have been a huge kill if they could have made it. I mean, at the same time, though, you see all these cores from Vici still incredibly farmed. So giving up kills like that, it's gotta hurt. 3-3, 10 minutes in. And Emo looking for a rune, wants to get active here with this one if he can make it happen, but DY gonna cover the angle. It's an arcane, and looks like they're able to get it onto Ori. No deny coming out from that Helm of the Dominator creep.
Yeah, Satyr tried its best there, but not gonna find it. But there it is, the lovely Tome gonna be coming out here. So this is where your Brewmaster is gonna have the level 6, can utilize that Primal Spit. And it can be tough. It's a 2-minute cooldown, so you really don't want to waste it on a bad fight, because it feels like that's sort of your entire toolkit when you play the 5 Brewmaster.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything that he's going to be picked for in this game. Granted, there's been some times where he's like survived a gank that others might not have, but you know, it needs to be more than a glorified creep at this point in the game. Yeah,
I think there's some serious issues from this game too. So benefits, he has the AoE Dispel. That's pretty sweet versus like the Ember versus the Empower. Definitely a helpful tool. The Tornado to just like toss up maybe the Phoenix or the Mag, one of these big playmakers, even just a Clockwork. Just remove someone from the engagement, right? Let you focus on other heroes. But I see like Slight Empower later on. When you're support Brew, you're not getting a lot of levels.
Yeah.
Which means your Brewmaster Panthers, they're not getting very tanky.
No, he's gonna get torn up.
Yeah, Slight Empower, they could just die.
We'll see if he can get in towards some of those levels later on. But right now, at the very least, JT is having a wonderful time trying to catch up a little bit on this mag, playing with the Helm of the Dominator creep. No real pressure being expended onto him, so it feels like he's kind of got a free path towards that Blink Dagger. As ult 11 and DY down bottom. Don't really want to go, but there's multiple heroes from IG that are showing up here as well. And the smoke up from the Phoenix and the Clockwork.
This is really tough to deal with because it is a Wraith King, right? You don't want to use Doom. You don't want to use Brew Split since he has the ulti, the Reincarnation, right? You always have to be considering that. I don't want to trade either of those spells for Reincarnation. So even just being in this part of the map feels really bad, I would say, for DY. But he also has to be there defensively, too, because he doesn't want his big pinata of a Doom to go down to give away some of that big gold bounty that you're able to gain on the hero.
They just got this D ward here up on this high ground. IG put a ward over there, and it was taken away by Vici, and then they also miss on the sentry. So IG a little bit working blind, and well, Taka moves into position, hookshot afterwards. He's gonna maybe be able to get that ulti off. Needs to get it, but the battery assault interrupting too much. Eventually finds it. Supernova down, LSA afterwards. Vici bring down that egg, and now the lift up on the mag. He wasn't able to get the RP off. The turnaround, Vici Gaming takedown 3.
All right, that was nice. That's like the dream fight for a Brewmaster player, right?
So good.
You absorb so much damage, so much attention from the team, and then you still get the ulti off, and then catching that throw up on the Magnus with the mid skewer. Woo. DY showing some chops here on the 5 Brew.
Well, the draft maybe not looking so greedy anymore. It's looking pretty good here.
Greed is good.
That's true. I think that's a voice line. 4K gold up right now on Vici. Looking easy as pie, and IG, they're just gonna need to make some moves eventually. It's just the hero's a little bit static at the moment, and Vici ready to go. Old 11 moves into position. Fly turns on him though. LSA as they rotate in from Ori, now trying to get the right clicks in for the kill. The Hex is out, figure of death done.
Emo
Fly. I mean, he's hitting pretty hard. They take down 2 and now looking for more. Ori, did you find out more? You can chew root now. The walk back in from Fly with this armlet, hoping to kill off DY, but he misses once. Tries to get the secondary one. The turn now, Fly goes down, but they brought in the back. JT, he still has RP, connects on the boat. Bring him on down.
The instant hit back from IG in the top lane. A little bit bold there to start out, but they drag that fight out, those longer engagements, right? Trying to make a play out of that with the Wraith King, and then Emo coming through on that Ember. Excellent stuff there, and the final stamp there from JT as well. Easy tower take into the enemy jungle, and much needed with how this game was getting there, right? Like, 11, of course, that was even his blink reveal. For it to look like that, not a great sign.
It's just, I mean, it's one of those moments where on the big stage, you feel so strong, you're looking like things are gonna go great. They got also the Fool Assassin mixed in there, taking away the regen from the Doom, and then in the end, come in and clean up on IG, and now a hook shot back behind enemy lines, finding PYW dead.
That's my hero.
Unreal.
You give that back.
That's my line.
I'll kill you again.
Kaka definitely knows how to make lions suffer.
Yeah. That will be the game plan. Now, 11, despite revealing the blink, obviously didn't actually use the Doom, so there could be some hesitation here for IG moving forward, but they say, like, go ahead. Like, eventually we need to force out these big ultis. We don't have the RP right now. You guys want to, like, come and try and defend? Let's see what you got.
And they're not going to do it. For the moment, at least, Vici a little bit hesitant about that move potential, and this tier 2 tower being pressured, no response yet, but as they move out with DY, Poyo, it's going to be the back out.
The flare is just so good versus both the Lion and the Brewmaster, particularly this Brewmaster, who probably not going to get a blink. If he does, it is a very long ways away. So if you can just spot him like in a tree line like that, his only initiation is like preemptive ulting, you know? And it's just so easy to back away in those situations.
Man, this Fly build is pretty cool too. Going after the armlet into Deso. Now the only problem is this actually is a little bit scary if he gets doomed with that armlet on. He's gonna start losing a ton of HP super quick.
Just keep swinging. That's all.
That's all you can do.
It'll be fine.
Well,
I think the best thing to me is that they just get objectives, right? Like, whenever you have an Ember on your team, you know, that's a mid that doesn't really help in that situation.
Right.
Meg, he's got some hits too, sure, but with a Deso on a Wraith King, I mean, you're getting Roche, you're getting towers, and that's what they're trying to do right now. They want to punish and find as many objectives as they can at these times when VG just don't want to engage.
Well, that does feel to be right now. Shadow Blade coming out on Poyo. And for IG, the map is looking very clear. Obviously, that like movement in towards the top tier 2 tower could be good with a lot of vision that they have around that area.
Yeah.
But you also sort of have a window here before PYW gets Blink Dagger, where you can maybe make some more stuff happen.
I mean, VG have a very clear game plan. Like, they have just put some wards like near their entrances to their jungle. They're just camping on these high grounds. They're hanging out near these wards. They're watching for smoke pops. They know that IG are coming.
Yeah.
Oh, and now Ollie gets a D ward there too. Very nicely done.
Yeah, this is a scary time now. They get that deny in the tower. That gives Lion enough gold for the Blink Dagger. He's flying it out right now on PYW. And you're also getting closer to these BKBs.
Yeah, but that Roche, I mean, it's too fast to the Deso. It's just gone. Oh, DY, really?
He's going in. There's a lot of heroes here. Supernova down.
Did you see that? That was a Bruling.
Yeah, he did not last that long.
It was gone.
Just instantly. This split is not going to be able to stop this Roche from happening. So Aegis on the ground.
Oh no.
Hello?
Team?
What?
Team?
This is an important match.
Team!
There's an Aegis on the ground. It's just sitting in there. Nobody got it.
All right, now the cheese I can
Oh
understand.
my God, IG! Somebody
Wait,
go
no,
pick
no.
up the Aegis.
Kaka's
Kaka. He's walking back in, I think. Do
Oh my
they
God,
not know?
They actually don't know.
They don't know.
I mean, who would
Oh my God, they don't know. The Aegis is still on the ground.
Oh,
the Levin walks
he
in
knows.
against the Aegis. What? Are you kidding me? Oh no! Just like that, it happened.
Haha, says Ori.
Oh my God!
All right, well.
Never in my life, Trent.
Listen, it's fine. It's fine. They have a Wraith King. He has an Aegis. It's fine. It's one of the abilities. He has reincarnation. You know what? This is just a move saying we don't need it, you know? So what if I swagger, says Wraith King.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's fine. Look, they're gonna win. They don't need it, all right?
Okay.
They're just still gonna march to your buildings. They're giving them a chance.
Poyo gonna get stunned now, and IG, LSA comes out. They back away, finds a kill here, possibly bringing him down low, not quite dead. They brought down Poyo, but everybody from IG is still surviving. Now, afterwards, they managed to find the stun. Good amount of damage there on Akaka. He falls down.
Oh, there
Did IG stick around a bit too long? They lost the Aegis and now potentially going to lose this fight. RP on the two, but where's the follow-up damage? They don't have it. JT, nowhere left to go.
You know what?
Oh my
That
God.
was a lot better with an Aegis.
You're not wrong, Trent. You are not wrong. As Old 11 tries to run down Emo, it's going to be the chase on the Phoenix. Ollie caught, gets the dive away. How do you mentally recover from that?
Game 2.
Oh,
That's,
man.
That's a very tough one to reset. That's going to take a lot of discussions in the booth and just, it's fine, it's in the past, it's done. You know, write a little note, take Aegis next time. That's pretty much all you can do. That really hurts. It hurts in every Dota game to, you know, have your Aegis snatched or accidentally deny it. But in this one in particular, when you're trying to play at such a fast tempo and really trying to get as much as you can out of the first 30 minutes of the game, that one's really painful to watch.
Well, we're going to have to move on as well as this game is continuing to be played out, and it's a 3,000 gold lead now for Vici. DY going to be wrapped around on by Kaka. There's the hook shot in, and it looks like they'll be able to, oh no, just split out. The turnaround, Emo shows up as well. Needs to get out with at least one of these Panda. Invis one away, and with that, DY dodges the game.
Interesting tactic. I mean, utilizing the split for essentially a free lane push, right? Like, it's pretty difficult to get all the pandas or to just like chase down the Earth Panda if that's going to be your strategy. Maybe get into some earlier farm and some other items here. Hoping for a potential Force Staff to help reverse the Clockwork as well.
DD now on Ori. And they're going to pressure this bottom tier 2 tower, but there is a glyph out. And IG, we'll see if they come to defend this or not, but with it fully surrounded, it feels unlikely.
And Doom has an Aegis, so you know.
That's true. Still another 2 minutes left on that one.
Top lane.
They find Ollie, Old 11, and Ori combined together for the kill.
Do you have to go
shot
for a
afterwards,
deny?
back towards mid lane. DY caught again, no split this time, and they will be able to kill off the Panda. So IG trying to pull things back together a little bit.
Kaka's rallying the troops, and this is a great hero to be on to do it because it can be very difficult from the support role 5 or 4 to get these great initiations, but that's one thing that's so important about how Kaka plays the Lion. I feel like he goes for those initial jumps more than other Lion players. A lot of Lions, like, sure, you go for the Hex on like the Storm or the Ember or something, but he's willing to jump on anyone when he plays that hero, and so putting him onto a Clockwork, it gives him even more power in that same role without the need for as many items.
True. So much of that tempo that can just be set by support position is incredibly useful in these games. and not a huge loss if it ends up dying when there's an overextension. A Lincoln Sphere done for Ember now, but the smoke up comes. Everybody with the exception of Phoenix. Emo, who does he find? Old 11's there.
He has an Aegis.
That's true. Oh my god, are they going to kill him with the Aegis? Hoof stomp afterwards. Fly jumps the backline, finds Ori. That's not a bad one. But he gets the BKB in the walkaway. Emo, slow down, killing him, dead. He's coming back though. Round 2, and Vici, they're all in the area. The Supernova's down. Do they want to fight this? Well, BKB in the runaway. Old 11 stun, chase, then eventually RP'd and killed. IG, they're back.
They need that, right? Again, just mentality-wise, finding that kill. Maybe not the best part of the map, but and Sokol's getting Ori too. That would have been huge. They actually missed the hook shot, unfortunately, there from Kaka for the follow-up. So not able to get the full kill done. But into the tower they go, right? This is still a Wraith King with Deso. He has the Blink. He also has the Brigand's Blade too, which, you know, a couple swings on some of these heroes, you're just going to get melted.
Polio gonna pressure out these side lanes, and again, everything to try and slow down this timing that's coming from IG.
Kaka's on him again here.
Yeah, got him in vision. DY caught. Does he use the split this time or giving up his life as... Oh, wait, got pushed out to the other side. Ah, he's dead.
The best part is that was even without the hook shot.
Yeah.
He just flared and then four staffs his way in there too. Did leave a pretty sneaky ward behind there from DY though. See if that'll help them later on some potential ganks. And you know who we haven't seen much of this game is Poyo.
That's true.
1, 1, and 2. Just kind of hanging out this game. Still has the max BKB. I feel like he might be ready to party.
Well, Vici, they're smoked up now as 4 without DY, and they want to make a fight happen. Who do they get? Fly's there. Ooh, blinks away. Instead, they run to Ollie. Everybody piling on, and PYW found the Wraith King afterwards. LSA connects. Four staff trying to keep him alive. Kaka in there as well. But one more hit comes in, and they manage to find the kill. Can they do round 2 of this one? JT trying to buy a little bit of space for his team, but afterwards the Avalanche toss comes out, finger dead. IG losing hero after hero. They keep Fly for now, but DY moves into position.
He just respawned.
Gets the cogs pushed back for the moment. DY still looking for the chase, and ooh, thought about going for more. But called it off.
Yeah, very interesting there from Vici, right? Smoking out there while the Brewmaster was still dead, so perhaps catching him a little bit off guard, and also finding a fight before the RP was ready. The Horn Toss was there, but JT couldn't quite figure out the right play for it in that moment. And that will send Vici back, but the main goal that they got, I suppose, would have been the reincarnation. Unfortunately for them, it is level 18 on the Wraith King, so back to just that minute cooldown. Much harder to punish at this point in the game.
They are at least able to stay pretty far out there on the map. They took back over the outpost. It's going to be reclaimed by IG before that 25-minute mark. But still you can see this lead growing for Vici as the game goes on. This is just what Doom does. Though there is still a very farmed Wraith King. How do you feel each team is kind of feeling about the state of the game right now?
I think for IG, it's, I would guess hollow would be the word, where like you're still playing, but it's got to be itching in the back of your head, just like, oh, we should be so much further up right now. Like, it's so hard to put that away and just like pack it up and move on. But all they can do is try and keep going for these plays and try and keep this tempo moving forward for them. The next big items probably they're just hoping for, like, they have the Lincolns, the Maelstrom on this Ember, so should be more confident jumping into these fights, watching out for that Doom.
Oh, gets the split off there. A couple other heroes in the area, but you'd have to assume that DY is just going to try and get out of here with these pandas. Earth One running. They got eyes on him though. A slow, steady run down. Lift up afterwards from the Storm Panda, and I think that DY's teammates are going to leave him for dead.
Yeah. So if you're new to Brewmaster, you always respawn on the Earth Panda if it's still alive before the Agnums comes out. We won't get into that. But so they can basically just hunt that one down and guarantee they'll catch him. Sometimes you'll see them kind of leave it alive for a bit because they don't want to kill the Earth Panda and thus transfer the ownership to the next Panda, and then miss out on the kill when the Brewmaster leaves the ulti form.
Well, try 2 here. I have a feeling IG are going to pick it up this time.
I think so. I think they should just leave it just for a second, you know?
There you go. Oh, he's got it. Emo's ready. Aegis, Shard, good to go.
Mentally, they could recover if they had have just left it, though.
That's true.
That would really show something. But no, they're back in the game. All right, everything's fine this time. Emo heads down the bottom lane. They're going to grab a gem onto Ollie, something that's becoming more and more common in the international as we move forward, is these earlier gems, just to get rid of this vision that your opponent's going to have on your side of the map.
Lincoln's is ready, and that's going to be enough to stop VICI from going for the big jump, and instead Fly. Going to become visible right away. Avalanche toss from Poyo, backs out, force staff. And a little bit of separation there. DY is behind him. Going to pop that BKB and run away. Shadow Blades out.
They need JT here for this play to work. He's trying to catch up.
DY doesn't have ulti for another 20. So they'll find themselves another kill on
JT,
the support brew.
He's following the creeps.
Tries to get him. Old 11 could blink away. And they won't quite be able to catch him there. Nicely done.
Yeah, pretty much a 50-50 at that point. They could have gotten him. And then look what Ori does. TPs to the top lane and pushes in the tower. Nice play there. Oh, that egg. That could have actually turned into something, but unfortunately for them, the one hero they need, right? Like, when that egg forces the entire enemy team to just run away, you're hoping JT's there in time, right? Because he can get the pierce to the BKB. He can get whatever target they want, draw it back towards the egg, and guarantee the pick off for the team. Only getting DY, not what they wanted.
Kaka, again, doing a great job of trying to catch this Lina. Gonna TP away afterwards. That's enough. Oh, no! Wasn't long enough on that BKB. TP too late, and Ori caught and killed Kaka. Pulling his team back.
And that is why you stay. Every time, right, as the support. You double check, you click on there just to make sure. Yeah, surprising you get caught there, though. Rare misplay on the main stage when it comes to the BKB TPs. Finally get the punish.
I guess he just thought that there was a chance that JT was nearby or something and wanted to get that little separation first, but ends up getting punished for it. But this is now a smoke up again from IG as they're going to run down that mid lane. Aegis in hand for another 3 minutes. They want to get active. Looking for an opening with that horn toss. Fly, eaten away, ward down, jump right at the start. Old 11's there. They're going to go for the split. And going to get that lift up. Emo afterwards. DD could use a dispel.
Look at JT though.
Done. Ava toss, dead. Kaka gone. Fly there afterwards. They miss on the horn toss. BKB is out. Jump forward. Old 11 looking for a target. Wants to get him. Got him. Done. Double kill for Poyo. DY afterwards. They get a great earth spike as the respawn happens for Fly. Emo's still alive here. What else do they have left in the tank? They don't have Doom available, but IG gonna respect the high ground defense.
Oh, they're trying so hard here from IG just to get that one mistake from VICI and get the punish for the Magnus, but unable to find it. A strong high ground defense here, and sure, you still have Aegis for another 2 minutes. Maybe you can go once again, but every time that misses, the game just gets harder and harder for IG, and VICI just gained more and more confidence.
And Ori, in the meantime, looking to find somebody on the bottom side that steps just a bit too far out.
Needs the help there from PYW, running in the smoke too, just to get through this Lincoln's.
And
all right, freehand LSA.
There it is. He starts it off, and there's the pop. Can they get the kill? Yes, indeed. Aegis down. Do they have a round 2 now? It's coming back out. Fire Remnant about to expire. Oh, he gets away at the last second. It was about to expire there.
Very close, but oh good. All right, so now main issue though, of course, don't have the Aegis for continuing to push the high ground. They, I guess, do have reincarnation though, right?
That's true.
So can keep pressuring that tower just with the Wraith King here, but they're actually going to try and find their opponents in the river.
Counterplay coming.
There, he's blink and force staff though. This is a hard grab. They're blink first.
A little bit separated. Who do they find? VICI supports backing away. PYW walks back into the flare vision. And DY, just barely outside of it.
How many times in this game, you know? Old 11 getting away, now DY there too. IG been chasing ghosts for a lot of this one, and then you just have heroes staying on their side of the map and pushing out waves like Poyo in the bottom right now.
He's keeping that one pressured, yeah. Every single time one of these does not connect by IG when they make the big 5-man smoke rotations, something else falls apart there.
I mean, we can talk about the game like looking hard and stuff going late for IG, which it definitely does, but they also have some heroes that can still make the turning plays, right?
That's
in
true.
particular, that Magnus. So,
yeah, that's the biggest one.
yes, you'd rather win early and everything, but they're not completely doomed here.
Good blink away. Doom. BKB out. Do they have enough to bring him down? The rest of the heroes wrapping around. Old 11 tries to back out, but it won't happen. IG now looking for a bit more, but they won't be able to find it. In fact, it's just going to be a lift up for the moment, but 60 seconds, no Doom. This is a huge window for IG here.
Yep.
Buyback, how much is he away? 400 gold.
Yeah, they still have some creeps with them here too, so they have to go for the glyph. They're going to counter glyph as well. Try and keep this creep up as long as they can.
Oh, no Bruce split available. Pollo trying to protect DY. But with Ori out on the other side of the map, he has the potential to cut those waves. And Vici, well, at least for the moment, hold that high ground.
Yeah, it's, they moved into the slow game now from IG.
BKB TP out. Any hook shots? No.
Was getting pretty close though, that's for sure.
Fly TP's on back home to boot.
So we got hook shots. We have an Abyssal being worked on for Fly. We have RP. If they want to keep going for these plays in the side lanes, there is a punish, right? For these BKB TPs, it's not just going to be this free guarantee for them. This PYW also trying to find some safety here with a potential Aeon Disc, much like DY. So both supports looking to try and get out of the chain stun that is available from IG, because they certainly have a lot of it, right? Pretty much everyone's got some way to control you if you count the Phoenix Egg.
Well, and for now, at least, Vici back to what they've been doing before, pushing out these lanes and dodging fights whenever possible. But with Roche capable of respawning again, that's going to be about a minute and a half. We'll see how this one works out, but it's a move with 4, Pollo bottom. Ready TP in a moment's notice.
All right, they have a sentry down here for Ori pops on the smoke.
Just to be careful. There's the jump in, the Hex to open. Fly afterwards, stuns up the Lion. But down low, Kaka almost dead, ends up getting the hook shot away, but not soon enough. They got the Doom on the Phoenix, and the Manta afterwards. Oh, brilliant play right now from Ori. He was able to dodge the stun, and now Turn gets all that damage out. Can he live long enough? Evo has to back away, and meanwhile, Fly just getting decimated. Up on the high ground, JT also going down. Ori just did so much in that fight, and Kaka back again. Do they have enough to kill him off afterwards? Ali also in this, trying to make something happen. Pollo and Old 11 combo together to bring down the bird again. These buybacks not enough for IG, as they're going to lose 4.
VG, they know. And they can feel this game and how it's going. And what a fantastic fight there, especially from Old 11 jumping in there with the stun and the Doom.
God, so much damage out from that. The freaking Tiny and the Lina that whole time.
It's always the bottled DD, right?
Right.
The bottled illusion at 33 minutes making the big play. Very nice stuff there from Vici, and here it is again.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, I thought that it was looking pretty good for a moment, but when they just couldn't bring her down. Look at this, how low freaking Ori gets in that illusion.
And he bashes the illusion. Like,
yes.
That can change so much there in that engagement if he gets the right one there on that first swing. But certainly the star of the fight's got to be Old 11 with that initial stun there too. And they're just wondering there what to do on IG.
What could have been and what's to come.
JT's got to find the big plays, right? I mean, he's there, you see him. He's checking out, what do I got to do here? But this is not the frightening Magnus we've seen, right? But to be fair, he hasn't got to play near his own pace. You know, you think about all those mag highlights, that's kind of where most of them are. But he's had the horn toss for a long time, and I feel like I haven't really seen the massive horn toss breaking plays that we're used to. Just playing very tight on the side of EG.
He can pull it back here as we get towards the later stages. This one 35 minutes in, and Vici taking control of this map. It's going to be a minute until Aegis is up. Most likely the vision from this clockwork will be the big turning point if they're able to make a good fight happen for IG, and of course JT's plays.
Yeah, and that is a hard thing to even figure out right now for IG. What is a good fight for them at this point, right? It feels like it just has to be straight up a glove on the Ori. Like that's the most likely scenario to me. You know, he's got Satanic, he's got BKB, but they certainly have the heroes where you could chain stun and kill him very quickly if there's not a fast response from Vici.
This game, you can see the differences between them. Both mid laners doing so much damage, getting involved in the kills. A couple more deaths for Ori, but they need to be absolutely perfect here from IG to finish this one off.
And they've recognized what IG need to do on the side of Vici. And so you've got Old 11 with the locked up Aeon Disc, right? He's ready. Yeah. DY gonna buy it next. You have PYW working just about towards that as well too. So they know it's one big fight that IG really needs to get back in this game, like one big buyback crazy Roche fight, and they don't want to give that one burst of a hero away. And you know, as Doom, you don't really care if you're dooming people with your Aeon going, right? You just want to doom them. You just want to remove them from the engagement.
Exactly. So, will they be able to make that work? We've got the standoff across the river from each other. And Kaka and the Skeletons hanging out. Roche is up. Fly. Does he decide to go in?
We actually just got a late tome delivered to Emo here, too.
Okay.
So that's going to put him to 25, I believe.
DY face checks the Roche pit. Sees that it's up now.
This 25, what a timing. So 2 more slate of fist charges.
This is big. Fly. Trying to take this down. Smoke's going to break. We'll throw out the Cinder Brew. Moves on in here. Ori coming to join his team as they get ready for this fight around the pit. Jump forward. There's the catch from Old 11. Shiva's guard afterwards. Out. DY walking for the backline. Gets the lift up onto the Phoenix. So Brew Split has been committed at this point.
Yeah, he's pushing them back, but they're not jumping into this fight right now.
Oh, good discipline by IG to hold off for the moment. DY looks for another lift up. Has it there on the bird. And Emo gonna push out mid. As Vici smoke up, look to find an opening here. This could be huge for them. But that double slight and then the remnant away is going to keep Emo surviving.
Oh, jeez, Kaka just staying in front, trying to pop smokes. Trying to be the sacrifice here. Does not have buyback on that Clockwork, and gotta expect he's the one to make that big turnaround play.
Only a couple of them there. Yeah, he's got one opening right now. Only the Ember and the Mag have buyback on the Radiant. Jump in, Horn Toss, finds TY. He has buyback if they kill him here. He's caught up on that little cliff, and they will bring him down.
That's a cheap kill, right? You know, just Horn Toss. That's exactly what you're looking for right now. See if you can force that buyback.
Yo. They're waiting. They have that buyback ready. Looking for it. The toss back potential there. Or just have a toss up in the air. LSA afterwards. Bringing him down low. Do they have enough for Ori? Yes, they do. Now the Horn Toss catching onto Ori. See if they can do it. They have the egg in the pit, but the big jump comes out afterwards. Old 11 hoping to keep the control onto Mac. He's dead. Ori ends up falling afterwards. No buyback for that Lina. Is this the fight that IG have been waiting for? They've got Mag coming back in a few minutes here. The big RP connects there. The double kill, but do they have enough afterwards? Horn Toss, DY in trouble. Yo walks back in now onto Fly. Old 11 hoping to get right on top of that Wraith King, but instead they turn their sights on Evo and take him down. Triple kill for Old 11. The man, the myth, the legend, doing it all for Vici on the big stage, but they buy back on the 2 cores. Now Yo, he's in trouble. JT gets the skewer back and away. They have vision on top of that Tiny. Old 11 looking for another jump up. Gets the hook stop, but it's not enough in the end. IG win the fight. There's still 2 buybacks left on Vici, but they might have to give up this Roche.
They had so much vision in that fight there too from IG. Even when the play was coming back at the end with Old 11, they saw him coming back trying to make the save on Yo, but they were fully confident they were going to get the kill in time here. So IG waiting for the moment they find it. What an absolutely fantastic egg in this fight. Ollie has carried them through the majors on this Phoenix before, and just finding that perfect spot where there's just no way, right? He's abusing the cogs that were laid out there from Kaka to ensure that he was going to be safe. That Sunray's doing so much work for your team in this fight.
Unbelievably impressive showing. And of course, you talked about that 25 being done for Emo right before the start. I mean, in that fight, he did 9 sleight of fists throughout the whole course of it. And IG, they're not done yet.
Well, JT finding those plays, right? This is what you need in the late game. Doesn't matter what happens early, as long as you get the win in the end. Doesn't matter if you leave an Aegis or 2.
Well, they're up now onto the high ground, taking down these tier 3 towers and hoping to get some buybacks or maybe more out of this. Smoke up from 3. They have buyback on the Doom and the Tiny.
It's not often you see this with an 11K lead, that someone's just in your base taking these buildings.
Jump in, Hex, trying to get some separation. PYW in trouble, Aeon Disc afterwards. Lift up now onto the Doom. He didn't get that BKB off. They take down the Lion, dead for 70. Do they have that much left now? Emo turned upon. They also have the control onto Kaka. He falls. No buyback. 6 seconds, Fly. He walked into the sentry though, but Old 11 getting a little bit of separation and dead. He's coming back in a moment. They get the egg, but it's not on the high ground. They weren't able to do it. RP afterwards onto 3, but Ori is there on the outside, wanting to chase and find themselves a couple more kills. In some trouble. Fly, nowhere left to go. He too will die. 2 minutes, no buyback. Emo trying to salvage this for his team as JT also heads away. Vici Gaming respond emphatically with that one.
That was at a high cost though, for sure, right? That was a lot in terms of losing your base. You have a buyback there on 11, which can turn to, well, a dieback in the end. Can turn into something in the next fight there too. So that'll still be there. Maybe you get Poyoyo as well. He did buyback during that mess too. So some dangers here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this game on a knife's edge at this point.
The scary thing is I don't want to go anywhere near their base right now with the potential for just like dead heroes for 2 minutes, you know, on the side of Vici.
Yeah.
You do not want to be the one who gets horn tossed back to the tier 4s and dies.
And we've seen that happen time and again throughout this TI. 4,000 gold lead is all it separates, but really, like you're talking about, it's those buybacks that really determine how this is going to end up going. You can see the big swing back afterwards. And the buyback only being on the Phoenix and the Clockwork for the moment. Everybody else except for Ori pretty much on the timer. He does have that
this game.
Yeah.
And they could wait the 4 minutes here too, and of course they'd have a 2-minute window with it. They would actually have the buybacks on all 3 of their cores for IG, and you'll still have that 2 minutes or so where you won't have it on the Doom and the Tiny. So that's sort of the ideal scenario here for IG.
Tiny trying to get into that AC himself. Poyoyo. You can see IG playing very defensively, staying inside their base. A Daedalus done for the Ember. So he's going to be dealing out some serious damage in these fights. So he swaps that one out for the bottle.
They have so much right-click damage there too. I mean, several times you're seeing this this Wraith King empowered, has the 25% cleave talent. Mortal Strike now has the -2 seconds cooldown, so the swings are most certainly big. You just need a little bit of control there. And I imagine that Kaka would love to have found that Aghanims this game, but just needing too many defensive items, unfortunately, because keeping the chain stun going is a bit rough for them right now. A lot of that pressure onto JT, delivering in the late game for sure. But 1 fight, 2 fights, still not enough.
He needs a lot. They need to keep it going here on IG to continue to build that momentum. And for now, at least, Vici waiting for, of course, the next Roche, but also that next big set of items. With the AC done on Poyoyo, it does help to mitigate that physical damage quite significantly.
And this is the stage of the game where Dota gets a little bit weird, because you have to run around as a unit a lot of the time. It's very difficult to actually separate unless you have like very good escape mechanics and like TP boots and everything. So this is where the vision really starts to suffer when you don't have dedicated vision heroes as a support player, because you can't just like flare all the way around. You can only really ward where you're following your team. So they are going for some pretty defensive wards on the side of EG, staying up on their own side, but they're going to have a very hard time figuring out what angle IG is coming from.
Right. You can see playing with not a ton of vision right now. Emo thinking about going in to start this fight onto DY. The root is there. Aeon Disc going to proc. So increasing that cooldown, definitely valuable.
And immediate D wards here. You know, they're just going to check the common spots.
That's what you want to do if you're IG. Look to suffocate Vici with the vision. And queuing up the Rapier next for Emo.
Look at this career down bottom too. It's just sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
Just wants to finish off that refresher here for old 11, and that will be masterful. Get the double doom out in these fights.
I mean, double hoof stomp, double everything, BKB. It's all good.
Well, speaking of which, though, it's also done for JT. Oh, these fights are gonna get mad.
I mean, it's either very simple or very complicated.
Yeah, depends how many heroes get RP'd.
And who gets
that can
doomed.
make it really easy.
Yeah. Likewise, who gets doomed.
Yep.
But bottom lane gonna get pressured in again by Vici. So IG will hold this side of the map because that Aegis got reclaimed so quickly after they picked it up. It's just this long window where if anybody steps too far forward and gets caught, could be the end of the game.
Yeah, there's just so much burst damage on both sides.
Definitely. Oh, and Ollie also going for a refresher.
Yeah, that's right. Ollie actually still not having a real saving item here. Just has the Yules, so the positioning of Ollie perhaps the most important.
Right, if he gets doomed at the start of the fight, that just changes everything.
He's just gonna hope that
Emo
he dies so he can buy back.
Shows, DY, walks high ground, rooted, hook shot afterwards, they find a good one. That's old 11, DY, Aeon Disc out afterwards, gonna pop the ulti and try and go in for more. Breaking the Lincolns on Emo. Now Old 11 has an opening.
That's going to send him back.
Trying to find it. Old 11 gets the catch there. Onto Kakano. Also zoning out JT, who's looking for a big jump in. Now the Ewell Scepter lift up onto that Tiny. Egg is down. Fight getting very weird as they lose the Lion. What else do they have left now? Oh, gotta be careful, Fly. They throw out the stun. Toyo looking to cover. JT doesn't get the skewer back. The retreat together from Vici. They still have that buyback on the Lion if IG fully commits.
PYW is just holding on to that. Nice play from Emo. Just BKB'd and dove the backlines. Went for the big hunt there onto the Lion. And again, just utilizing that vision there too, right? Makes your fight so much easier. I feel like every time we have a team fight, the vision is just all IG. And that makes it so much easier for them to play with the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, opens up his game like crazy. And PYW, I mean, just doesn't really have a way to save with the exception of that Aeon Disc. As soon as that's down, it's over.
Has an aesthetics now though, so there you go.
Now, Fly.
Oh man, Poyo's crazy. That's the kind of territory where you see, I mean, just like Shamil, right? Of course, he was on the Tiny as well, but like that's where the Horn Toss can just get you.
Yeah, and they still have a minute until those buybacks are back up. Old 11 still some amount of gold away, but he's going to regain that super fast. As almost everybody has buyback up, IG do, and by the time this Roche fight happens, I think everybody in the game will.
10 heroes maybe, you know? Can we get another one of those?
There's a chance.
I feel like this time there would be diebacks though. I think this fight might be it.
Yeah.
It's all culminating here.
Rooted.
God,
looking for it. Wait, he didn't Horn Toss. Poyo pops the BKB. And now the back out. Ori wrapping as well. They've got that vision on favor of IG. DY spinning in a circle.
He's still playing loose, this guy.
This Aeon Disc just now came back up. But they proc it, and then the runaway. Really nicely done there by Emo. So important in those fights, having that Aeon Disc done.
And that Roche, it's about to be back up here. IG gonna know right away between the flares, just leaving a Helm creep in there. They're essentially destined every time to know first.
Yes.
But VG, it's a bit more of a question. And there it is, and Fly gonna go right in. They don't see any of this right now for VG.
They're in the middle,
Ember
though.
zoning them back.
DY caught. Oh, but the Hex afterwards, and then the jump in. Aeon Disc out. Do they have enough to kill him off? DY dead. Buys back immediately, and now the fight separated. Kaka goes down. 2 buybacks so far.
Old 11 is just not here. He's running.
The rest of them are nearby. They turn. They try and get the kill, and they'll get him. PYW down and dead, but that's BKB's also down. Gem on the ground, and DY will go and pick that one up.
Back in the pit, Fly working away at Roche.
They have to know about this.
Got some buddies helping.
This is scary times. They have that rapier done for Emo, a ton of damage ready. Looking for the opening, but DY, he gets the ulti off. Now the turn, Doom, almost throws it out there. Doesn't get it onto the Lotus Orb, but they have 2 rounds of it.
The Phoenix.
Rapier's still there, they're looking for that opening. Try to take him down, but he gets the Ewell Scepter afterwards. Control, does he get the egg off? They doom the other one. Now Ori ends up falling the RP afterwards. Do they have enough? They try and kill them all off, and they will. The Rapier doing way too much damage in this fight from Emo. They had no control at all, and IG bring them all down.
Was he doomed? Because it doesn't really look like it, does it? Just keeps walking at you and swinging. And Ollie, this Phoenix, excellent coverage there from JT. Can't do it by himself, but he's got a couple of friends to help out there. And yeah, that big old damage with the Rapier.
Oh, danger, refresh, and the jump in. Oh, Poyo tries to kill him off, Fly almost dead. Old 11, the Aeon Disc is proc, but Ollie on the other side tries to do it to him. The BKB out. Ori, does he have enough in the tank? The Hex is there on the Fly. The real damage dealer is going to be the Ember up on the high ground. Old 11 pulled back in, brought down, dead.
He's gone.
No buyback, 2 minutes. Aegis is down. They get it. It's snapped by Poyo, but is it enough? It might just kill him twice. JT on the side, the right click's coming in from that Tiny. He is so large and hard to kill. Ollie again, caught, broken, one more punch. It's not enough. There's gonna be the lift up again. Ori tries to turn now onto JT, but his invis, there's no vision. They don't have it. So much healing out from this Phoenix. Ollie eventually will go down, but it comes at the cost. As the Ori is the only one left now. Poyo comes back alive though. LSA off the mark. Ollie turns, blows him up. Look at the Daedalus. Crit comes out as Poyo wants to salvage. This is a triple kill for the Tiny, but he's all left alone. Nobody left on his team. Poyo eventually 2 will fall. Emo didn't go down in that fight one little bit.
balance.
I don't even understand how many slices he just did in that engagement. That was unbelievable from Emo. What a play from IG from losing and leaving an Aegis.
Who needs it?
I told you, they were fine. They were never
needs it?
concerned.
Unreal.
They played that last fight so well. I mean, you can honestly just go back and only watch Emo through that fight, and it was absolutely thrilling the way he just like spaced perfectly the entire time through that engagement. Remember, we're dealing with a double Doom, and it didn't feel like it, right?
No.
Early game felt like Old Eleven was hitting everything. Late game, things just switched. The 3 from IG there, JT doing a fantastic job of controlling the match in the late game. Really come online with that Magnus and proving once again why the hero is looking really strong.
And I mean, we said the fights in the end, they can either get really simple or really complicated. It was a little bit of both. The real simple thing was that when you have a Rapier Ember with all those slights, if the fights just keep on going, eventually it's going to fall apart.
I mean, you pretty much had everything you could ask for at the end of that, right? Everyone had their Aeon disc. I mean, we're missing a few of the items on the sports, I suppose, like those big ticket ones, but it's all there. It's all available, and it comes down to just like who's seeing everything, who's getting the big plays. And honestly, I really do think that Vision played such a massive part in this game. Every time I look, it just feels like IG see it all in the fight, and that's why Emo can play like that. And again, like using Ollie with this Phoenix, they've proven it time and time again. We always talk about Kaka and the Lion and how good he is and everything, because he covers that egg so well. He looks like so masterful all the time. But then JT saving that egg with the RP, amazing stuff.
Amazing plays, and a lot more amazing action to come after this. Going to head now back to the panel.
Thank you so much, guys. You look absolutely gorgeous today, by the way. But we've got to talk about things getting slightly ugly in the kind of the first half of that game between Vici and IG. Because every TI, there's a whoops moment, isn't there? And we've kind of been waiting for that one to come along. So I think maybe we should relive it in all its glory right now. Hopefully. I think we're still feeling slightly awkward about it, to be perfectly honest with you. Do you want to introduce?
I wanted to actually.
Yeah, I was like, are you just looking at me? Am I supposed to?
Is Kyle the team?
Yeah, I was looking for you to pluck that one out. I know you like to be the bearer of bad news, Kyle, for IG. I mean, IG won. It's just momentarily it looked like they might not because they won a Roche fight. And then, well, you can see for yourselves what happened.
It looked like Ember was going to take it.
He made a spot.
Sometimes you just leave an item on the ground, right, Kyle?
Yeah, I thought Frankie was about to slam Kyle for sure. Kyle has had an ups moment. He's been one of those on the stage.
Yeah, okay, look. Dropping something is different. Okay.
Okay.
I had done that
True.
previous times. I tried to pick it up.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't just forget.
It was just unfortunate timing. Yeah.
At least you didn't deny it. There were times when some players, if you remember, denied the Aegis as well. This time around, it's a gift. It's a gift to your enemy.
But I just like how crazy, because realistically, right? This is Ember's Aegis.
The ground?
Like, this is his item. Emo should have taken it, and somehow plays this phenomenal game anyway. How does that not break you?
It's insane. It feels like IG and Emo are a team that they thrive under pressure. And this Aegis, this giveaway, actually helped them in a way. The top fight that came afterwards, that came after this Aegis being stolen by Old 11 was horrible for them. I thought that their whole game plan was broken. And it truly was. You could listen to their coach. He said their team is extremely greedy. This is going to be easy. It's not easy if you give them that Aegis, if you hand it over.
Yeah.
I just want to say how nice Lizard is on the desk. He's just like, yeah, them like not picking up the Aegis, that actually helped them win the match. Me asking stupid questions on the desk, he makes me feel better about them by trying to, give me an out. This man is too nice potentially for DOTA2, but we're very grateful to have you here because IG potentially did look a bit shaky, actually, even before they forgot the Aegis in the first part of that game. I mean, Purge, was that something that you picked up on?
The early part, they looked pretty confident. Once they got the Roche, then things got a little shakier because they had to play more passively. So, and there was a big net worth advantage on the Vici gaming side for a long time after that. It took a while. It kept getting bigger and bigger, and all of a sudden they finally won some good fights. I think the one thing that IG did really well that game was that my almost entire memory of that game is like in the middle of the map somewhere. They didn't take fights near their base, and that means that Vici gaming didn't get to abuse the extreme power of Tiny. So the game went really long, much longer than it should have been, but they eventually come back and make it work.
But Kyle, you weren't 100% convinced by the laning phase from IG.
I mean, you get to a point where you see a Doom draft which has all 3 cores at the top of the net worth, like you're going to be a little spooked. But I think that the Mag, Wraith King, and really just Emo's play, like at the end of the day, IG's triple core is just strong, especially when you get so late into the game that you've got heroes at level 30. Like at that point, it's, you know, as Dendy's always said, like it's not, there's no thinking Emo, it's not Dota, it's just chaos.
I mean, Emo absolutely caused chaos on that match, but in that game, I should say. The match is not done and dusted just yet, my friends. Carl, what did you make of the way that Emo was building his kit out?
Oh, well, he bought a Blink Dagger, which is something that you would typically have done historically, but you just don't buy Blink anymore, right? It was a Maelstrom early, which disappeared. We were trying to figure out what happened. We believe he sold it to finish Scotty for the big Roche fight, but I think his usage of buyback, like specifically all-inning for the Rapier, before that critical team fight where they take the win at level 30, his Remnant usage, like the way he's just killing Lion every single team fight, like I can't believe he's able to do that.
It also forced VICI Gaming into itemizing in a different way. Well, Aeon Disc, it's been popular for a year, then it fell off a little bit after the nerfs, but they had to get it. Multiple heroes on the side of VICI Gaming got it. But when you think about VICI Gaming and the Brewmaster, this hero actually was one of the top contested picks as a position 5 at the beginning of Season 1 in the Chinese region. It fell out of favor, teams figured it out, and it's very interesting to see VICI Gaming go back to their biggest comfort zone at the main stage.
It was okay in the early mid game, but in those later stages of the games, it definitely just doesn't feel nearly as good. Because as a support, you're less likely to get the Ags. So
you're ulti, right? And that's it.
You can't hit this like really powerful like 30-minute time where you've got Ags, and maybe if you're doing greater refresher, then you get 4 splits. That's like oppressive. Yeah. So it just doesn't feel as good, in my opinion, that late game.
I think it's also a bit rough against Phoenix because typically, you know, you pop split and you don't want to fight into this draft anymore, but IG can just use Egg. And especially after the shard, like you don't really want to be in that area any longer, no matter what your supports are doing. So in general, it's just a really kind of classic game of Dota with a, like I can't believe they left Aegis in the pit. Like that you just shouldn't, how do you do that? They smoked out, like they just forgot. They were making a move as if they had it, and there's like a global notification that this person has the Aegis.
Old 11 got the email, got the memo. He jumped in, he snatched it.
With that said, I think the one player we're forgetting though is Kaka on Clockwork. I feel like he was the guy that held those like mid games together. He got that crucial Lina TP interrupt on the top lane. He forced her BKB. It just felt like every time I'm watching, I just see Clockwork going somebody consistently, and a lot of times he would get out just barely. I think he had an amazing Clockwork performance, and that's the reason they were able to like keep the game going for long enough to make those really good plays later.
Yeah. Last pick, you got it.
I do think it is fair to say that we can't count VICI Gaming out just yet, because it did seem like, especially in the latter half of that game, it could have been anyone's. And also, we have seen VICI now lose their first game, like for example against T1, and come back fighting and come back strong. And actually, although IG came into the main stage as the top seed, VICI don't seem to look far behind them, if behind at all, really.
100% not. In the last 2 majors, the series that they had, one was a wash 2-0, the other went all the way, and I believe we might see Game 3 here as well. VICI Gaming is looking solid. Ori is beasting. Throughout the seasons, he's had some problems. He didn't look his best. DY and PYW had to come in, rescue him. I think it's a different situation right now.
You're
he just dropped ha on the TI main stage in a lower bracket elimination final, then lost the game. The enemy team forgot the Aegis, you all chat them, and then lose the game.
It's funny, you didn't BM, it's just funny.
It is funny.
It's also hilarious that as he blinks into the pit, he breaks their move, he breaks the smoke, and he gets away, he TPs out.
And on top of that, I think he also played amazing on the Lina. There was some moments there where he was like melee range versus like these super terrifying heroes, and he actually just stayed alive. Like he actually had a really good performance as a whole. They just didn't win the game, so we're not talking about him as much.
But we do want to see another 2 games from this matchup, surely.
It'd be good. That was a really good match.
Yeah.
Love to see 2 more.
Awesome. Okay. Well, hopefully we're going to see 2 more. But right now, I'm wondering if we can actually hear some words from the captains themselves. So let's first of all check in with IG.
Team IG's road to TI10 started with a bang, winning the grand finals in the Singapore Major in March. With Kaka, they're led by an experienced captain, one who has played in 10 majors and 5 internationals. After reaching 2nd place in TI7, he's now heading to TI10 with a unique perspective and a roster of new teammates benefiting from that experience.
Somebody just walked back up to him and over the Hex, he was able to set up onto crit, the Hex into the stun. A question mark
Question
coming
mark
out.
in the
Oh.
old chat. All
Oh
right,
my
I love that.
goodness.
GG's called.
Oh,
Emo's
there
just
we go.
standing there. All right.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen, spicing it up a little bit.
转眼间过了5年之后，现在称呼你一声卡师傅或者是老将也不过分，而队里也有比较多的年轻的选手。那你现在再和大家一起去冲击 TI， 跟以往会有什么样的心理上的变化吗？还是你觉得，我卡卡依然是一个非常年轻、有冲劲的年轻选手？
我觉得我个人感觉就是我跟什么队友区别不大吧。我觉得跟自己心态可能有点，心态上会有点变化吧。因为我觉得我之前。TI打的就是有时候我会打的感觉，就我现在看啊，就感觉之前打的可能想的东西太少了。然后现在我觉得就是我的思维会格局会更大一点，就包括就是不止于我自己的位置，我会去说一些就别的位置，然后该怎么去运营，然后该怎么去打团之类的。就现在我觉得这种思路会更宽大一点，因为我觉得之前打的太偏个人了，然后偏的打的有时候也会。就看起来就没那么有章法吧。
It's been a season of high highs and low lows, ending with a tough performance in June's Anna Major when the wildcard round sent IG home before they could even see the main stage.
然后，有别的队伍在聊到你们的时候，或者说有一些观众在聊到你们的时候，认为你们是有隐藏实力，或者说不一定是刻意的隐藏，但是可能就是主观上没有那么大的强的动力，导致你们没有打出特别好的状态。你们会自己怎么来评价自己在Animator 的一个表现
？Animator 就是我们也没有隐藏实力吧，就是我们就是5号位不在嘛，然后就是我们教练上会在那个线上的时候，有时候会出一些小问题。然后团战其实还是蛮好的，就是我们线上出的问题会比较大，所以打的没有特别好，但也没有隐藏实力啊，我们也是在认真打的。
所以其实就是人员不整，其实是成绩波动最大的原因，和主观能动性关系不大。
对的。然后我觉得外卡赛队伍也是非常强吧。然后打比赛，我觉得更看一个状态，就是谁状态好，谁就能赢，这样。
你可以想象一下，现在登上 TI 的舞台要出场了，然后这个时候播放的是你们的采访片，这个时候屏幕里的卡卡说一句话，
有一句一毛大神的话，就是让我们来看看谁才是真的 TI 冠军吧。
Well, Kaká will be relieved that he's got 2 more chances to lead his team to victory here on the main stage, but maybe they're going to do it in 2. One of the things about Invictus Gaming coming into this event, well, they were one of the teams that like to play the fastest and finish first, but sometimes it seems like, especially in the recent matches, Secret, for example, and just now, they're maybe playing a little bit more conservatively, or is that just me?
Hard to say what's going on in their heads, to be honest. I think especially when you go up against a squad you have so much experience against, you're going to just stick to your comfort zones. That's why, again, like the decision from Emo to like buy Rapier, no buyback, like he just didn't have gold for it, right? He's all inning is such a cool idea. And I think that ultimately is what separates the teams that we see on Championship Sunday from those that we don't, is that you play to win the game instead of playing, to
survive,
fearful.
Right? Conservatively.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the reason that Secret was able to take that second game and therefore the series in the upper bracket earlier this week was because IG just played too defensively?
I would say that Secret went into game 1 like ready to know what was going to happen in the draft. They knew there was going to be a Lina, and they drafted a really cohesive strategy that heavily countered it, and they executed it really well. And that put Lina so far behind that she didn't even have a chance. So game 1 was like a wash as far as I'm concerned. I just felt like Secret was ready totally with the trap.
And it's very difficult and scary to play against Puppy when he's had time to dissect your strategies and pick the right heroes. And that's the vengeful that Purge is talking about. Against that Lina, they just never had a chance.
One of the joys of the match at T1 versus Vici yesterday were the support battles. DY and MPYW, are they kind of a key winning condition, Kyle, for Vici?
Hard to say. I actually kind of look at old 11. I felt like he had a bit of an off performance. the supports to me are always showing up. Like, yeah, when PY, like, the thing is, they don't have bad games, right? You can count on the Vici support duo. The question is, will the cores have that same consistency of excellence?
So in other words, yeah, it's on the cores. The support duo, they're the backbone of this team, as you would hope them to be. It's just, are we going to see our carry show up?
So for me, when it comes to Vici Gaming, Old 11 is one of those extremely hit or miss, very high highs, sometimes low lows kind of a player types. He can carry the game for you, definitely, on correct heroes. I completely agree, however, at the same time, about the PYW and DY, what I'm looking in this game as well, again, is Ori. For me, he is in the spotlight. How he performs on that mid lane is make it or break it. Sometimes PYW and DY are too busy helping him out on that mid lane. We've seen that through the group stages as well, to actually dominate the side lanes. First game, that wasn't a problem. We'll see in the next one.
So how are you expecting... well, actually, you know, I'm interested to know how you see Ori matching up to other mid laners at this event. Lizard, I'll stick with you.
I really think that when Ori is on his top level, he matches up evenly against any other mid laner that there is. If you guys remember the Star Leader Minor into the Stockholm Major, into the Epicenter Major, the team, Vici Gaming, he was back then with them as well. He was dominating mid lane. Something happened to him during the seasons. It just wasn't the same Ori.
Yeah, I think it was last TI, right? He's playing, was it Viper mid or Huskar mid against Viper, and he wins the lane, like solo kills his opponent. Like, this is the sort of thing you would expect from Ori. And this is the kind of matchup you want him to dominate.
Well, we are ready to go into game number 2. Can IG do it, or will we go to a third?
VG Gaming versus VIRTUS Gaming. Game 2.
Draft number 2 about to begin, and we're hoping to see a stronger draft or stronger game from Vici.
I think it's going to come down to gameplay. I think they had all the tools they needed. They got to the portion of the game that they wanted to get to. IG kind of handed them that portion of the game, honestly.
Would you agree?
I would say so. It's just that IG outfought and out-executed them, for sure.
So and then how do you beat that? How do you beat that execution?
I think just play to your strengths and maybe not Lina.
I was going to say maybe not Lina, because Lina is a mid laner that has to win the lane. That's why people pick her. She snowballs off of that momentum in farm as well as the kill potential on the map. And we saw Lina against Ember, I'm pretty sure slightly Lina favored, and Emo was winning that pretty much from level 1. And then his impact in the late game was just, I'd say, a few levels above that of Ori.
Absolutely. It was a big surprise that Lina didn't do as well as we thought she would on lane, but I guess we didn't even touch up on that Clockwork pick. It felt like it did do a lot too in setting up the fights and jumping on those backline supports.
It's the chaos factor with Magnus. Once somebody throws a wrench in the equation, your positioning falters and the RP just becomes that much more powerful. We're not going to see that this game though, thank you. I was really hoping one of the teams would ban out Magnus, as I've seen enough of that.
Yeah, I was surprised they banned out Mars over the Magnus last game. I asked you and you were like, I don't know why. There we go. And now they start out with picks that we saw very prominent in the group stage and that they've still been picking, which is Snapfire, Monkey King. How's this open?
Well, to start with, I just think it's very interesting how highly IG value Phoenix, because I don't think we've seen another team place such high priority on this hero.
True.
And if you think back to Singapore, they actually just won with this hero in almost every game in the finals too. So not only is it a comfort pick for them, but it's a really creative way to approach the more durable tinies of this meta. So it's nice to see a different team with a different style of taking on.
Seems like a nice alternative to IO, right? Because it doesn't get punished by the AoE. Like, it is a heal support that you're scary to go on those beefy frontline cores because of that Sunray. But instead of having to be tethered right next to him, getting caught by these RPs, these disruptor ultis, you're back at a safe distance. And you also draw a lot of attention to yourself with the egg.
Absolutely, and don't underestimate the value of early points in Sunray, especially if you have a Spirit player like Emo on your team who is always going for kills and always going for fights. Suddenly you go up in value as a Phoenix just because of the damage that you can provide something like a Spirit hero, right? But of course the approach that Vici take to this Phoenix, or the Snapfire, is probably the best counter in the game. You just have to press a little shredder and right-click the egg and it dies. Of course there are play arounds to it, but it makes sense that it was picked here. Monkey King, we've talked about the vision that he provides and how useful it is and his flexibility before, so I don't know if we want to touch on that a little bit more, but the only other thing to comment about in this opener is the stuns are not really instant. There's Boundless Strike for the Storm Spirit, but that's about it, and it's dodgeable, like if the Storm sees it coming.
IG definitely saw this opening coming, as they've picked Monkey King on the side of Vici pretty much any time it's been left in the pool. I see it out of their 8 main event games. They've first rounded it 5 times. And also, the fact that JT is such a well-known Mars player for IG, the fact that they passed up on the Phoenix-Mars combo says a lot about how highly they prioritize this Storm Spirit, that long-range catch. It's nice for the tree destruction on top of the Mars. Both heroes will catch that Monkey King, but I think it's the fact that the Snapfire, you can either prevent her from hitting the egg with Arena, or you can just jump her with the Storm. So I think that's going to be a big part of their team fights.
That's a really good point, because if you look at these 2 supports, Storm should not struggle in killing them, or they shouldn't pose much kill threat to him. Also, if you want to think about Storm's gameplay in around the early mid game, these 2 are not going to be much of a threat in terms of just like smoking mid and killing him the way that Vici like to play, because PYW and DY, they're known for their catapult rotations. So I don't think Storm should have too much of an issue here in that regard. Also, one more thing to note about IG's Storm Spirit is they're so confident in first phasing it for Emo. They do it whenever they can. He has absolutely no fear when it comes to Storm.
I also know that Emo has a special build that he likes to build on Storm, exclusive to him. What's the strength of that?
He actually, well, I think Slowing is a pretty broken item and underrated, honestly. And Emo was the one who kind of brought it back on Storm Spirit, because 4 months ago, he was building it in every game. You could see it in iLeague, you could see it at OGA. And I think a lot of other mid players picked up on it, because now if you just open any top live game, you will see Storm Spirits with Slowing. But it's just very cheap. It gives you extra tankability and just the mana that Storm needs.
It's also the fact that you get so many bottle charges in the mid lane now. That makes Storm's game incredibly reliable, and Soaring as an item doesn't increase his max mana pool, so you're effectively getting way more out of your bottle than you would with say something like Mana Boots or Kaya. So not only are you getting the extra mana from the Soaring, but you're also increasing the efficiency of your other items. And we see Earthshaker. That gives them the instant stun that they needed in team fights. Monkey King's Boundless is okay, but Snapfire's abilities are relatively clunky in order to land on a Spirit mobile hero like Storm. And now I would imagine some save disruption, like Silencer, to break up this combo that Vici's representing.
That could be quite good. And now that there's an instant stun in Echo Slam or Fisher from a distance, suddenly the chain stun potential of a cookie is so much higher. So the Storm Spirit that looked good with just the first 2 now looks like he can be threatened by the heroes on Vici's side.
This is a reverse from game 1, am I wrong?
Yep.
IG let Vici have Lion Doom. They just complement each other so well, but as opposed to going for the Wraith King, they go for the Morphling because they have the Shaker combo. I think they were calculating that, because Doom and Lion on paper are pretty good against Morphling. It's really hard to play without Lincolns and BKB, and you also need the Ags. So there's a lot of items that he needs on the Morphling, but I just don't know if he's going to be able to get there.
So you don't think Morph Shaker is enough to power through this?
It's the be-all, end-all. If they get to that point in the game, their stuns will be insanely overwhelming. Storm will get bursted, they will get locked down, but he can't play, like, it doesn't matter how many stuns you have in your abilities if you can't cast them. And Doom, Lion are just so good at preventing Morphling from doing so. So he's going to need the Lincoln's BKB Ags, maybe like a Scotty, in order to operate these fights.
So there is going to be a timing in this game for Morph Shaker where they're actually much stronger than IG if they don't get overwhelmed at any point in the game. And yes, like Morph is under threat with the instant disable by way of Hex from the Lion. But if you look at these backline supports in Phoenix and Lion, they're going to get blown up by this Shaker Morph combination. So I think IG really needs to pick a more tempo hero, because Doom, while he is very strong, you know that the team's going to play a bit of a slower game when they have a Doom, because typically they will build the Midas and they will farm a little bit more, and they don't necessarily rotate with every Doom initially.
For the last picks, I'd like to ask you first, BSJ. What are we looking for? What do we need to fix here for Vici's draft? What could complement the Morphling Shaker enough?
Just a momentum mid-game hero. You need this 8 to 20 minute mark to not be game losing for you. You need to not let IG snowball the kill potential that they have. They want on the side of IG to get 1 or 2 pickoffs with Finger and Doom, and then sit back and farm for 2 or 3 minutes, and then go again. And that can be crucial to just blowing the game wide open in this mid-game portion. And because Morphling Shaker, that's where it's most fragile. That's the kind of hero I'm looking for. So I want to see a mid lane matchup that's in his favor. But we kind of talked about that last series or last game. It felt like Emo was the better mid laner.
Absolutely, and you can see that IG actually thought the same way that VSJ just did, because look what they ban out. They ban out the Puck, who's a momentum mid laner, and the SF. And they actually had great success with the SF yesterday, so it's interesting to see respect placed on that hero that we really haven't seen that much during this tournament. And I suppose it would have had a lot of synergy with the Snapfire, and it would have just given them Roche, which is kind of awkward for them at the moment. So the Dragon Knight also fits the bill, so I think the bans on IG's side cover it quite well.
So you're looking for also a consistent mid laner, because you've been talking about Ori, he just needs to be able to do decently in that mid lane. SF and DK kind of fit that bill.
Yeah.
Are there any other heroes you can think of that fit that as well? Against the Storm as well.
Against the Storm. Well, what's left in the pool right now?
Well, we got like an IG's pick first.
Well,
All right, sure.
I think they might just go Void Spirit here.
Okay.
But Ori has, I don't want to call any specific player out, but Ori has been underperforming on his Spirit heroes compared to the other ones in this tournament. So it feels like they're shying away from them a little bit, which could explain why they wanted to go for that Lena draft.
I would love to see Spectre or TV for IG. Spectre makes their teamfight execution way better. The chaos against combos is always nice, and then TV's just, he's not the best individually against Morphling, but they needed a lot of tower hitting and a lot of wave clear, so they go for the Spectre. They either could play for the team fights or play for the map navigation. The TB would have been better for lanes, but Spectre just makes these single target heroes like Lion. If you see a Lion walking through a ward with the lineup they have so far, it wasn't all that scary unless Storm was nearby, but now every single hero on the side of IG represents solo kill threat as long as that Ags on Spectre comes up.
Yep, BSJ the Prophet. And just to add on a couple of points to this, Spectre is one of the best carries in the game versus Blink Dagger initiators, just because you press Haunt and she just stops it. So that makes the Shaker pick go down a little bit in value, and also she can scout out the Monkey King in the trees.
Might be a Lesh game, maybe?
Yeah, I was thinking that too, but it's also one of Fly's like signature, right? We always talk about he wants to carry the game, but also wants a team fight. Spectre does exactly that. TB, much more of a farming-oriented hero. But yeah, I actually like the Leshrac pick. I was thinking the same thing.
Lesh or TA, something like that.
But Lesh against Spectre is really bad, though, is the problem.
Yeah.
I think Leshrac would die a lot here. There's not really any kind of synergy or hero to save him. If he gets jumped on by the Storm, followed up by Haunt, he's just dead.
Yeah,
so I don't want to see that hero particularly. The thing is, it looks like they should go for Void Spirit, but not only has Ori been not doing too hot on it, they might lack some damage in the early mid game if they do go for Void here. So they're taking their time thinking about this one.
We're seeing they're taking their time here. Partially, perhaps they are considering the idea that like we need a consistent mid laner as well, something that can't go badly, but also a tempo. It doesn't feel like there's anything that really fits this bill for them just yet.
You need something that makes early moves, and the only reason I mentioned Lesh, it's not the best for a Spectre, but you need a tower hitter as well. Like Morphling can't reliably building siege for a long time.
Is DP possible here?
Yeah, DP. Actually, yeah. I like that a lot. Against the Storm, it's a good matchup.
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, they go for the
Let's
Lesh.
go Lesh.
It's bad against Spectre later on. If he dies once or twice in the early game, I think Ori's in for some trouble. They have a lot of burst, but if he can get to like the Sanj and Kaya, Eternal Shroud, sustain through the Doom, if he's got his ultimate on, they could absolutely buy enough time for this Morphling Shaker combo to come online.
I will agree to that, but just to reiterate a little bit, I think that a good Storm jump with a Lion follow-up in the early game should be a very easy, or a Spectre follow-up later on should be a very easy dead Lusher.
For IG, what are the strengths that we're seeing from them in this draft?
They have really good scaling, and if it gets to a certain point in the mid-game where Doom has his BKB and Spectre has her Ags and whatever items she chooses to go after, they should overwhelm them in team fights.
You think it's going to be an Ags, like the Ags hunting Spectre game as well?
I do think so, because she's playing with Storm and Lane.
Well, we're going to have to hear from the coaches themselves, as this time Sir Action Slacks has met up with Vichi's coach Fenrir to ask him about their draft.
Thank you very much. We're about to head into it, so I'll make it quick. We talked to Supra last time. He said that you guys had a greedy draft. This time I'm interested what you think about theirs.
上一把 Super 说你们的阵容非常贪心，这一把你觉得他们阵容怎么样？
阵容怎么说呢？阵容是贪心了嘛，但是也有赢面嘛。 只能说适合我们吧。
你觉得他们阵容怎么样？那你觉得他们阵容怎么样？
他们的阵容选的跟我们想的差不多吧，但是这一盘阵容可能他们选的会比较好一点。
Well, last game, I didn't think our lineup. I know that my lineup was greedy, but I think that we could have won. However, this game, I think that they had the better pick.
All right, fantastic. Well, we'll go ahead and jump into the game and see if that's accurate. Let's throw it over to our fantastic casters, Trent and Lyrical.
Oh, thank you so much, Slacks. Yes, always great to get the little bit of the interview before we go into the game. It felt like he had the better picks. That's not something we normally hear from the coaches at the exit.
I feel like he's trying to pit them against each other here. Like, eventually, I don't know, if we don't settle things down here, he might get them just play a 1v1.
I like that idea a lot, but let's get into the game right now.
I think I'm taking Super in that.
You would?
Yeah. He's got it.
That's fair enough. Support players, though, right?
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. But we're already into the game now. As you can see, both teams heading out across the map. None of those big 5-man smoke-up movements that we've been seeing pretty consistently. But IG is all sitting right in the river by the Tier 1 tower and going to try and get some vision down. See if they get any of those early D wards. So, Morph Shaker. That feels like it's sort of the thing that we need to address, right? Do we have what it takes to get to that unstoppable phase that we've seen from them?
I will tell you who addressed it, and that was IG, because they saw the Shaker, and they went, okay, well, they could morph Shaker after this, so why don't we just take, like, Doom and Lion so they don't morph Shaker, and then they morph Shaker, and they're like, oh, cool. So you have Hex, you have Doom. I mean, you know that they're playing for basically this single hero overwhelming you at some point in the game, and they have excellent abilities versus that sort of a strategy.
Well, we're going to see here the bounty runes picked up. 2 for IG as Vici are going to head back to their side and also pick up a couple of them. Yeah, it's going to be something interesting to watch for. And of course, you know, as Effie was talking about, there's that potential to blow up the Lesh later on when you have either that Storm jump or the Spectre jump later on, and just a heck of a lot of things. So it's going to be a tough one for Ori, and needing to build into a lot of survivability items as this game goes later.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised by the Lesh pick, because I thought they listed some really good reasons why it was a very risky one to go for here from Ori. I thought maybe they'd lean back to one of the Spirits or like the Kunkka or just something that was a little bit more, I don't know, like
survivable.
Two-dimensional, yeah, survivable. And that's great. I almost feel like they actually want to up their tempo a little bit, just like maybe bring in the Morph a little bit more, maybe not play so hard towards the Morph Shaker and just try and play this out, because I really think just going like all in on Morphling seems very dangerous this game.
Yeah, going all in on any hero when you have a Doom is pretty scary, as early on, Emo 3-1, Lesh 2-0. Emo getting the better of him. I think that we saw a stat from the stats group that we're in that it was the most damage done by a hero at least throughout the entire tournament by his Ember Spirit, and maybe potentially one of the ones of all time as well. He just absolutely shredded on that physical damage Ember build.
Yeah, when those fights get later in the game and the talents start coming out, get a couple of those engagements in and you can start topping some charts. So I'm sure he's feeling great coming into this game, and now moving from the Ember to the Storm. So a bit different, a little bit more pressure on the actual initiations and follow-ups for the Ember Spirit, whereas Ember, he definitely moved into more of a like dancing around the map and the team fight sort of game. But I do think there were some good answers here from Vici in this draft. I think that consistently, again, the theme of vision just seemed like a serious problem for Vici in the last match, and so just kicking things off with the Monkey King, already making things a bit better. But I really think that IG, you know, like they go back for that Spectre at the end, and it makes your fights so much easier to play when you have that Haunt. So to me, Vici taking fights during Haunt is going to be a serious problem.
Fissure comes out right there. Ollie not going to get clapped by that Boundless Strike, so we'll be able to get out of there the last second. Yeah, I think that the lack of Clockwork is going to be a big win, most likely. The vision that he provided, and of course, like you mentioned, the Haunt, if you do go for it, gives you that full reveal of everybody, but it's a pretty big commitment if there's not an opening for a fight afterwards. We'll see if Fly can continue his impressive spree so far.
It is ridiculous, though, that you have Haunt, and then you have, like, it gives Storm the Zip, it gives Lion the Blink Hex, and it gives Doom the Blink Stomp Doom.
Yeah, it's everything.
It is so fight-winning if they catch a Haunt near your team.
In the meantime, at the same time, we're seeing this Snapfire on DY. Potentially a good amount of damage that can come out as Kaka actually going to get ran at. Cookie afterwards changes target, switches over to JT, and with the rundown, that's enough for first blood. Not bad from Poyoyo.
Nice, very well done. Very, very cool. You know, they're just like checking out the spells, watching the mana pools. It's like, okay, now we found our chance to go, right? Now up top, PYW wanted to finish what he started before, missed the previous Boundless, and even this time not able to get the finish.
But look across the lanes right now. They're crushing it across all three for Vici.
And that's part of what that pressure does, right? Driving back Ollie, giving more freedom to Old 11 right there with the 1-1-1 at level 3. Has quite a few tools here in the lane.
So far, so good for Vici, who so often I feel like have been sort of identified by their potential and consistent desire to go into the later stages of the game. But if you got onto a hot start like this, it could be really solid for them. Changing things up a little bit here in this game number 2.
Yeah, Lesh, one of the best heroes to have, of course, in those situations, since you can take the objective so easily. So, Vici, there's no reason they need to sit back, you know? Like, we talk about this, like, eventual timing with the Morph and the Shaker. You don't want to panic too hard and just play for that and not try and grow your advantage if you get one out of this laning stage. But in the river there, DY caught, but a very tanky hero, so it's not going to amount to very much.
Yeah. Kaka gonna zone him back a little bit afterwards, after taking that water rune. And at least for now, JT not really able to put that much pressure onto that Morph lane. It's gonna be something that we see a little bit later on in this game. And depending upon what build the Morph goes for as well. D-Ward there and blocking out the camp, so there won't be any side pull action either. Nice from DY.
Just a very relaxed laning stage here, right? You know, it's TI. Sometimes you leave an Aegis behind or something. Everyone's just sort of getting zen and focused here. JT. Simultaneous in the top lane as well. They're jumping out of Fly. Got a lot of damage.
Big one. Spectre in some trouble. Ends up going down. Old 11 picks up the kill. So only 11 last hits at this point for that Spectre. Fly is not having a great time.
Yeah, and it's not like it's a mystery that they're going to be trying to pick up this Phoenix for Ollie too, so it feels like maybe trying to find some sort of a solution in that laning stage here, right? With the way the TYW is playing this for Monkey King, just putting the pressure on, forcing him off from the wave there, and trying to punish one of the weaker parts of the game from a Phoenix.
Well, this is exactly what they were hoping to do on Vici. UIW starting to rotate towards this mid lane. Obviously, the 6-minute mark is incredibly important for rune potential, but having just hit level 6 on the Storm, this is going to be a tough kill if they try and go for it. Boundless Strike into the stun. Do they have enough, though? The zip comes afterwards. Emo actually sticks around for a second.
Needs some last hits.
And getting the tower hits also onto PYW. Dude, Emo is not afraid in a little bit.
He actually just got all of those.
And turn now onto DY. Gets the kill. Not bad from JT.
But as you said, like, yeah, you don't get the kill because he's level 6, but it's still a lot of pressure. And of course, we're moving on to 6 minutes now. So moving to that top rune, TYW going to battle out with Ollie, but Kaka has to come and get the coverage on the bottom lane. Unfortunately for them, though, it is top. So unable to give it to the Lesh, unfortunately, but DY is going to put the TP in after that death in the bottom lane. Come fill up his mids bottle.
Yeah. So a slight lead all across the lanes. The main one that's hurting right now is Fly. And obviously without a Magnus or anything, there's no catch-up potential necessarily.
Man, that is rough. They've done an amazing job in this top lane.
Yeah. Really putting that pressure on. Zemo farming in the jungle, no bottle, and is going to have to walk home after clearing out that stack.
Yeah, and Fly, you know, on the Spectre, not the hero you really want to be heading to the jungle to on the earlier end, right? You cross your fingers for the chip vest at this point, hoping for a comeback mechanic. And look at Old 11 just feeling so confident, dragging the wave with them too. Just like, yeah, you want to turn and fight me? I'm level 6.
Yeah, he's got that Echo ready. If anybody shows up, they get blown up. And Fly will get a couple of these CS here. This is on the catapult, but regardless, not where Fly Spectre wants to be, but these other heroes having an okay time.
Oh, look at this. TPing top lane now from Emo, the turnaround play.
This is big. 11 pulled back in, has that Echo still available, wants to drop it. Hits there onto 2, but it's not enough. That's a bait.
Every time. Every Earthshaker. You know, you gotta know, you have that feeling when you play Shaker, you're like, I know this won't kill them, but maybe this time, you know? You've tried it like 50 games in a row in that exact same scenario, but early on, it just doesn't quite have the oomph.
Well, just like that. They brought a couple heroes down bottom. We're hoping to find a pick there onto the Doom, but he headed back to the jungle, played it safe. Still Vici with a 2K gold lead at 7 minutes. They're having a nice start.
Yeah, the kill did also go to Emo, he said there, so not the biggest help for Fly to get a little bit of space on the lane, but Emo looking for some more plays towards that mid lane. There's the coverage there from PYW with the boundless strike, as well as DY here. This could be Kaka dead.
Oh, this will be a nice pickup. There it is, immediately into the stun, but Emo shows up, and now Kaka living a little bit longer. Won't be enough to save him, but the stun afterwards tries to turn on the Emo. Do they have enough? They're going to keep alive the Lesh for a second, but only a second longer. And as everybody else comes in from IG, Vici lose 2 in the river.
How about Ori was away for a second, and then JT just comes. The music starts playing. Slays him from behind, so nice stuff there to get the coverage. All for a kill on a Lion. Obviously not very worth it there for VG.
Now these past couple moves, Vici getting caught out. But still, a slight gold lead that they're hanging on to. You have to imagine if they get this kill up top, though.
All right, he's got to live, though, right? I mean, they had the obs in the jungle. Did he leave too late?
Oh, no. He was right underneath the observer ward as he tried to head away. The slowdown needs to throw out a fissure on a Kaka, but it might be too late. No.
Barely.
Barely getting out of there. And mid lane, they find a cleanup onto Ollie and also starting to pressure this tower.
All right, so that is the price of that ward, right? Like, that's all because of that ward up near the top outpost, because he saw the rotation coming up top, so Shaker plays tight for a little bit, then starts backing away, so they're still going to try the gank, and then knowing this, VG say, okay, let's attack mid lane, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, they're rotating up top with the Storm Spirit. We can get a great trade here, and what a costly trade, too, losing that mid tower. Lashrak 3 points in the Edict, immediately comes to the bottom lane behind JT with the wraparound.
I don't even know if they see it. They know he's here.
Yeah, they don't even know. He was thinking about doing some tree plays with the Edict.
Instead, they're going to back out to their own jungle, get down that good observer ward.
Dude, that ward is just killing them. It's spotting Kaka and Ollie moving through here again to that top lane.
Yeah, all those movements, giving some good vision.
And look how PYW is playing mid here too, right? With Emo being so close to Ori, PYW, not only can he be there for defensive boundless strikes, but perhaps you can even get a good aggro initiation.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of initiation. All 11. A little scared up there.
Yeah, and actually they're going to wrap on him now.
Oh, that's a creep too far, my friend.
Yeah, this ward is very prepared for the kill. Throws out the heck. It's not even going to be there in time. Old 11 throws the fissure. Flyflight kills him, I think with dispersion.
All right.
And now JT underneath the monkey. PYW backs out again. But you can see the tempo that VG want to play. They want to make this a little different here as they force down that bottom tier 1 tower. They're setting the tempo.
They really are. This is looking fantastic for them. Falcon Blade as well as into the early perseverance here for ProYo. So tons of sustain to stay out on the map right now as a Morphling can start playing a little bit solo as they want to group up around this Leshrac and push parts of the map. Meanwhile, you still have Old 11 just back up top.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep going here. I'm going to keep trying to slow down your Spectre. She's still the poorest core in the game. And you know, Flyfly just not able to get that big jungle acceleration that a lot of carries can do.
And we have a smoke up now. 3 heroes in the mid lane. They're going to run right at that storm. Emo caught, stunned, but the heal is out. Will it be enough? Needs a little bit more, and
he went in.
God. Emo is out of his mind. He still managed to get with the Snapfire ulti. Dodging, trying to get out of it. Do they have enough? They don't have the range. And afterwards, Ollie makes the kill happen with the egg.
Looking good.
Emo
with it.
Dude is absolutely wrecking.
That was some nice plays. They were so focused on finishing off the storm, they're just dying, right?
Yeah.
As the other heroes rotate in, all they can cling to is that attempted kill on the enemy mid. Those are the kind of plays he's gonna make here. Not something you see too often from like a storm at this point, right? You think it was more as like the mid and late game, not so much like 11 minutes making the zips. Well done, and Storm, one of the best parts of this hero, 0 cooldowns, right? You're just ready to go again. You know, no big long ones whatsoever, so they're gonna smoke up, they're gonna lurk behind their Spectre here. Probably knowing that she's a big target on that hero, right? You know, you really want to take down the old Spec, knowing that she's the one who's being bullied. And instead, VG just go towers again.
That's right. Focus the objectives, and
there's a blink from Old 11. Of course.
Yeah, they're looking for this. Smoke is going to break. Old 11, do they get the haunt right at the start? Jump through. That's 1 dead. Finger of death out. DY, oh, they catch them both. Tries to salvage something. It's not going to be enough. The boundless strike won't be enough to keep alive Old 11. Is DY also going to get ran down? 3 dead. IG just covering all their bases.
So JT tried to blink, sorry, not JT, obviously. 11 tried to blink off to the left, and Kaka, who got the Lion this time since IG have it, manages to catch him with the Hex right there. Beautiful stuff. And then finished off there as it's, I believe JT who picked up the kill there too. So once again, we have another very rich Doom. Not the richest this game, though, as that is still going to be our Morphling. Something that VG can hold on to. They're pushing these towers still, getting that done. They are moving IG around the map a lot, but they're still succeeding in a lot of these kills, so they're not the most punishing rotations. It's 10-4, but it's still a gold lead right now for Vici.
Bringing in the Shaker. Old 11 looking for the opening. Finds him. Echo, Fissure, combo. Ollie is there again, though. And Emo just gets out and walks back in again. This guy doesn't care at all. Supernova down. They just have to walk away from him. Emo has no fear.
I mean, when you have Ollie backing you up like that, why should you?
Right now, only the 2 points in Sunray, but still getting so much done on this Phoenix. Now, there is still a Morphling. Poyo farmed, getting towards that Lincoln Sphere.
All right, well, if we're going to follow the trend of last game, what's going to start to happen soon is that, you know, Old 11, he's popping off so far, or sorry, he's not doing well so far. You know, having a pretty rough game. Last game, he popped off early, and it didn't quite finish out the game. Meanwhile, JT, he had a pretty bad start. He finished really well. So, as the game goes later, maybe Old 11's going to find his mojo here. Well, he's going to try to motivate a little bit here with the chat lines, but JT and Old 11 comparison here. Yeah, you can see that GPM a little bit easier on the old Doom.
Very fast farmer. And in the meantime, Emo could just play right up in their base and has nothing really to worry about as long as he's got some heroes nearby to keep them safe. Need the full commitment for the save.
Oh, they're committed to keeping Fly safe, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Hanging out nearby in the trees. Just going to allow Fly to freely take this tower. And I say that, now they're going to smoke. They're coming through under this ward from IG, so perhaps a false sense of security. Takes a long time to push this. JT's going to help out a bit. What is the initiation with his duels, though?
They spot him right away. Has to jump out. They don't have Old 11 here, though. I mean, this is the Blink Dagger Shaker. Kaka. Waveform in, turns over, able to get the Earth Spike. That's the Lincoln's reveal. And now Old 11 showing up, jumps in, catches them both, and they got the combo coming in from the Snapfire afterwards. Fly in trouble. Vici, they played it perfect.
Very well done. The time taken to actually finish off that tower really hurting them there. On the side of IG, they just throw everything they had at them. The way they perform that fight, too, right? PYW sitting in the trees, giving them the general idea of what's up, and then he almost like baited them to the left. As he starts running away, they're like, oh, can we get a catch on this Monkey King? And suddenly, out of the smoke comes Ori, and that's when the panic set in.
7-10. 2K gold lead, and Emo getting closer to that Orchid.
Yeah.
As the 2 Oblivion staff's done.
Part of the reason he wasn't down there, right? He's farming that up, trying to get that first big item for himself. And being a Storm, he'd also love this 16-minute room, but they can't find that, unfortunately. Huge for Storms to try and play around that, and it's going to be an invis for Ori.
With that Orchid coming out, where do IG want to go? Still got, obviously, a long time until the Morph Shaker combos are going to start coming out. He is building into the Aghanims right away, though, not opting for a BKB first.
That Invis rune. Ori wants to make a play here, but that's JT. He's pretty tanky. Oh, he went for the instant.
And Cookie afterwards. JT slowed down. JT dead. Good catch for that kill.
Didn't end up mattering.
Monkey King scouting around that area as well. Just cosplaying as a courier for a moment. But yeah, IG, it feels like they've kind of got a weird timing, right? Because on the one hand, you've got that Orchid ready, but Aghanim's still
ready in the mid lane. They jump Old 11 here, too.
This is a nice one for him. Finger of Death out, and actually can even use the Haunt for that.
Yeah, just doubling up and making sure there wasn't any like support nearby, I'm sure, or like hoping there obviously was, because maybe then Emo can extend the fight into a second kill. Tower still pretty healthy. The actual tower push very weak right now from IG. It's never really going to get much better with these heroes either. That is perhaps one slight issue here for IG in this game. It's obviously that's what punished them in the bottom lane, and without a catapult, it's pretty tough for them to keep this pressure up. Emo's going to do his best, but Poyo's trying to pull the wave, and now here comes PYW with the smoke.
Looks for it. Kaka there. He doesn't hit on the stun. Oh, what a great combo. They back out of there just in time, and Kaka didn't have vision for that stun. Ori dodging back into the trees, and now they're going to find Kaka for a follow-up kill afterwards. Very well played by Vici.
It's tough because you see Emo playing so well, but part of that is because he's taking so many risks, right? And eventually you're going to get caught in the mousetrap. And that time, he most certainly did. Very well done here, but it's that lack of push that I feel like they're not even respecting their own lack of push. Like, still just trying to force that tower and just... I mean, this is why Monkey King has looked so good at the International, just helping to set up from those really long-range boundless strikes, helps combo anything. And a great catch there from Ori in the trees.
And now, with the tier 1 towers taken, this is always the big testing point, right? Like, you can find these kills on Vici, you can turn them into the tier 1 towers very easily, but getting that second tier objectives has been real test of, you know, if the teams can kind of push themselves that next level, and it's not easy. And instead, for the moment, they find the jump now onto Morph. Not gonna be able to get anything afterwards.
Got the shift off, so a huge panic. That was a smoke used here. So in order to get those tier 2 towers, what do? We take Rogue.
Oh, link back. Kaka almost gets him. Nicely done.
But that tends to be the focus after, right? So you see the vision already being laid down there up top here from Vici. DY pushing out that lane, some obs. The sneaky ward that Vici views quite a bit near that pit as well, where it's kind of like hanging on the cliff there. Very well done, looking down into the river.
Always so important to be able to scout out those fights before they break out.
And for now, IG just waiting for that haunt, though. Got the Ags, but it was still 90 seconds away from the haunt, so after that, Firefly's just been farming it up here. And you imagine that JT probably really wishing he had that Blink Dagger here, too. Has the BKB, so if it's an aggressive fight from Vici, can maybe just like get in there onto the best possible dude target. Up top, though, Kaka, he gets aggroed on. It's the Morph for Poyo. That's beautiful. Very nice, Kaka. How do you like it?
Keeps on catching him with that one. And this is, you know, a big problem. The Lion needs to be that one initiating on top of them.
And the worst part is you don't have a recourse. Like, what are you going to do? Like, the timing's just not going to be there for you to get through the Lincolns and cast a spell.
Yeah. Have to be, like, instant on it or preempt it to some extent, which is incredibly difficult. But in the meantime, Vici continue to hold this area. They've got some pretty solid minus armor, and DY heading into the pit. Are they actually going to try and take this now? It doesn't look like it.
It seems like Poyo is not quite as confident here, and also a wave near their mid tower. Luckily, don't want to make that trade for free.
He's 500 gold away at this point from getting that Aghanim Scepter on the Morph, which can open up the game that much more quickly. And they do still have some really good control on IG. You know, you've got that Orchid ready, you've got Doom still, even though he's still a little ways away from that Blink Dagger on JT.
Look at that scan from Old 11 too, though. He actually just scanned the trees near himself up top there, so not a great idea from Vici as to what IG are actually doing. They're just wondering, like, surely they're coming for someone, but who is it? Well, the answer is the mid lane. Don't want to go into that Lincoln's. Ori has the fresh BKB and the Yules.
They break the smoke, Hawk comes out, they jump immediately onto Morph, not going to catch. Old 11 now backing away, they catch Ori, but maybe the counter initiation play with the BKB out. They could have this. Supernova used. Vici, do they want to chase? Old 11, he's got Blink Fissure in 7, but it's too far away. And now they have that Ags done and also a Tome coming out for Poyoyo, so he's going to also have 18 most likely.
Ollie using that egg, probably saving Emo as he did get stunned up in the middle of that there, and no real defensive item to help other than this Essence Ring.
Here we go. So often, this has been the combo that feels impossible to deal with.
Yeah.
You get the double Fissure, double Enchant Totem, amping up the damage from Poyoyo, and the amount of control and the power spike that you hit on Vici, they got to get something here.
I feel like this is the fastest one I've seen at the event, at least from casting. Like, I've seen quite a few Morph Shaker games, but for it to be ready at like 21 minutes like this is terrifying, especially because Shaker has the BKB, and at least for us, when we were casting all these matches, it's been the 4 Shaker, and you're struggling to get even just the Blink Dagger, and that makes this combo not nearly as impactful. But with Old 11 being on the core Shaker this game, having the Blink, having the BKB, this is a frightening scene for IG, and gotta imagine there's a lot of pressure on JT, but he has that Blink, he has the BKB, so perhaps JT can do it again here with the Dooms.
It's gonna be important that they make that happen, but the tier 2 tower they're gonna have to give up in the top lane, which looks to be claimed here in just a moment. Because that is one thing that you can sometimes do, right? Is we've seen teams go for, like, you know, a Haunt play or something like that and then kill the Shaker, and then there's no longer that combo. But in this instance, with the BKB on it, it becomes a lot harder, or Shaker a lot harder.
You might see some of the plays that they've been trying here too from VG. The last time that Haunt came out, they tried to pop a smoke in the backline for the support, so trying to almost like force the Haunt in from Flyby and just be like, all right, well, you know, what's going on here? So they've already thought about a couple of counter plays, and now we have the Force Staff done for DY as well. Help it break up any of the chain stuns. Also just disengage Poyo in certain engagements too, I'm sure. But they're just going to keep knocking on your towers. We've talked about this, the lack of push here. Oh, down bottom.
They catch him. Solo, why not? That was huge. They blow him up there with that Fade Grenade. That's the combo you need, and given the tip, that's a huge kill.
Mean, they said Spectre was hoping for a chip vest earlier, but you're always hoping for the Fade Grenade here with the Morph and the Shaker combo. The Shaker absolutely loving this thing. You get the totem damage on the throw.
Moving on in, trying to hold this high ground. They've put their hopes into Poyo-Yo and jump in. There's going to be the cookie afterwards. Do they have enough? Waveform through, bringing down JT. Has to pop the BKB, run away.
God, that was so sick. The Boundless to stop the initial cast of the Doom, and then Poyo throws the Lincolns on top of Ori, and so JT's just like, okay, well, I guess I just can't.
I'm out of here now.
Yeah, at least he didn't waste it, right?
Yeah.
But excellent. Just like, they know the stack of how the fight's supposed to go, right? They can see all the spells in the order that IG want to go for, and you're just trying to disrupt that.
Well, this is one of those moments where, you know, you put the game into Poyo's hands and hope that he's going to be able to hang on to it.
Well, there's that. I also just think that Ori's also having a really nice game, too. Like,
oh my God! Jumps in! Can they break the Lincolns, though? It doesn't matter. The double fissure, and now the chase down the enchant totem. JT pops it, turns. Do they have enough, though?
Old Levin's coming through.
He's got with the Aegis, they just don't want to go for it. Poyo waveform, tries to get him. Adapter strike, not quite going to be on the mark. So JT gets away. They've got to wait out that Aegis.
Meanwhile, Emo is still just down here. I'm sure feeling a little nervous hiding here. Doesn't have a TP right now. Nighttime, gonna try and use the lack of vision to escape. This is some dangerous stuff.
That was very close to death. I mean, again, it feels like right now IG are kind of trying to wait this out, at least until the Aegis comes down. They still got a minute and a half. VG, do they try and push that tempo that much further with two tier 2 towers down?
And look at them, they're just camping.
They're ready.
Hiding near this outpost.
Kaka,
he's already been one shot once.
Fissure, jump in, done. It happens so quick.
Oh, meanwhile, Emo gonna show on this wave down here. Is there any real punish though? No. It's DY with a force and a cookie. Not enough teammates. Okay, well, unless he's not careful with the zips, but
he's out. Well played.
This whole map now belonging to VG. Game 2. This is a whole new one for them. And, I mean, really, all you can do is just kind of lie and wait for Flyfly to help find that one big fight. Try and set up the plays, set up the initiation for Kaka, for JT. See if they can catch this Morphling, but Poyo not making it easy. Soon
and
have the
E-Blade jumps in, finds the Spectre, in trouble, going to fall soon. Flyfly almost able to get out of there, and will. Saved again by Ollie. Old 11 went for that dunk, but it wasn't enough.
Oh, once again proving why they like Phoenix. Sunray save there.
They've waited out the Aegis. It's gonna expire now, 15 seconds. If you're IG, do you kind of have to go now, or is it still too dangerous to fight in a Morph Shaker?
I think you smoke out and go, and you try and find a fight with Haunt before the potential timing for the Roche, right? Because you want to have the Haunt back up when the Aegis fight could occur. So push out your waves, find the smoke play. There's not the best vision right now, like really deep from VG, so there's a good chance they can get away with this this smoke. Meanwhile, unfortunately though, IG, they also don't really see that much of the map. I'm not entirely sure where VG Gaming have gone.
UIW shows for a second with that Boundless strike in the mid lane. But IG looking to hold their own high ground for the moment. The other thing here is just like the XP lead is going to start to stagger way into the favor of Vici. Those outposts being taken as well. This entire game swinging into their favor off the back of this Morph Shaker combo.
They have hit a big item now though. They do have the BKB for Emo, so he's been working on that for a while. And combined with the Essence Ring, has a lot of survivability. Can try and disrupt some of these plays, and as you said, like maybe try and find the initiation on old 11. as can get that finishing damage.
Smoke up.
They use
They're
the haunt to
looking
find
mid.
him first.
Ori shows with the Lincolns on him, and Vici look ready. Jump in, Kaka breaks it. Now the turn. Fissure out. Doom on to Lesh. Isn't going to be enough though. Wait for him through. Emo wants to get a target for the kill. They get one. No buyback on Ori, and the damage on to Vici. He died. Wait a minute. What? They just evaporated. No buyback on any of them. Huge win for IG.
Man, I don't know. JT and Kaka are just so quick on that. I feel like we see this all the time, but placing that ward down and just jumping in the mana drain into the Hex, into the Chain Stun disable, into the Doom there too, just absolutely no chance. And then on top of that, to find the non-shifting Morphling was just like a massive bonus. You know, he's got a lot of tools here, but he does not have a Dispel. So getting pulled and orchided there for the kill from Emo.
Wow. In the meantime, Old 11 trying to find a little bit of retribution. Will go for the TP out. Does manage to escape after that Shadow Step.
Jeez, that is a frightening amount of damage, though.
It's
true. The Manta being ready there from Flyfly. I would say impressive how Flyfly's game has gone. Like, think about where you've seen Flyfly in this match. Basically, like the safest possible farm. Oh, nice solo pick there. Emo utilizing that DD rune to keep them in the game here. But Flyfly, I mean, lowest score in the game for sure, but I think recognizing just how important it is to number one, not drop any further by just getting, like, you know, picked off and feeding, but number two, always be ready and set for that haunt, because it's so crucial to how they want to find these engagements and eliminate this double threat of the Morph Shaker.
And you saw in that last one, I think how important it is still to get the BKB on Morph. You know, the fact that Poyo could just die to those two disables, and the fact that it's all on him, right? Like, you need this BKB to make sure you don't get chain stunned and to make sure you're constantly keeping on top of them. And so a little ways away from it, probably won't go for another fight until Aegis, or rather another high ground push until Aegis.
Old 11 drawing a sort of like stalking wraparound play here, but it's like they're not sure if they want to commit to that.
Arcane, but just going to keep that pressure on. Has that Aghanim Scepter done. Going for the Lotus next. So the gold lead, as it has felt throughout this series, consistently into Vici's favor, but IG are the ones that were winning that last big fight. And Emo, the one that's setting the tempo.
Oh, it's going to be a very tension-filled couple of minutes here. It's a really long respawn. Oh, they spotted that one.
Got him. Quick and easy. Emo, he's a player.
You know, they're actually pinging like, oh, they have a ward up here, but I don't even see a ward. I'm not sure if that was just a, like, you know, they always do this sort of play.
Yeah.
Radiant are scanning.
Just understanding inside the heads a little bit right now. 2 minutes away from Roche. Emo going in to check it. And in the meantime, for Vici, it feels like they've really stalled out. You know, they got this big item timing combo very early on, took down some tier 2 towers, but these last couple of fights, things starting to feel a little bit scary for Vici here.
Yeah, and their team fight's pretty empty if they don't have the Morph and the Shaker together, so Morph also doesn't want to be like on the other side of the map right now farming up this BKB, so everyone, it's like a giant gravitational pull towards the Roche pit in these moments, particularly at TI, it feels, you know. No one wants to make that mistake, miss that crucial engagement, and so the farm speed's going to slow. They have to give everything available to Poyo here to try and get that BKB before that fight starts. And they're going to be very fortunate that it's still another minute away, because this BKB can be the massive difference here, especially if they go for the Doom onto the Leshrac again.
You're also getting towards some of these other big items that can make a big difference. Shiva's pretty soon on the Doom, as well as Scotty being worked on for Flyfly to help mitigate that regen that you get from the Morph when you're swapping between the two forms. So it's going to start to become more likely that they can kill Poyo. He doesn't have that BKB. More and more of these items get picked up.
Well, IG once more going to try and control the vision game here, though, by having that gem onto Kaka. So they can clear up and just ensure that, like right now, we know there's no wards, obviously, on that side, but this is giving them the confidence, too.
Smoke.
And especially if something gets dropped down here when they want to look for that high ground play.
Flyfly, they got vision. They want to go on him, though. Killing that Spectre is so difficult. Old 11 revealed for a moment. Flyfly sees him, baiting the fight, the jump in. They decide to take the bait, but do they have enough to save? 4-stack, keeping him alive for the moment, but dead. Flyfly goes down. And now looking for more. Up on the high ground, they catch Kaka. That BKB, it's not going to be enough. And tries to get control. The silence is out there. Meanwhile, the Voodoo Kisses comes down. Emo does it all for his team. The chase down now, looking for more. Old 11, nowhere left to go. Unreal.
Man, VG knew it. IG knew it. That's bait. You know, it's like Spectre's going left and right, just swinging, dangling there with the chum, and you know the buyback haunt's coming, but they thought they could get enough kills, they would be worth it.
And
but putting all in on the BKB.
Now, no buyback, 60 seconds with no morph. I mean, we'll see if this is enough to stop IG from going in for the Roche, but with Roche up now and no morphling, that's like almost all of their team fight.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, part of that problem, of course, you know, they did use the haunt, they used the egg. They used the Doom, so there's not a lot of incentive for IG to fight there either, but we also recognize just how crucial the Morphling is. I'm a little surprised they're not going to push for something. Feels like maybe they'll just smoke in for kills. And that seems to be the plan here. A scan hits. They know there are heroes.
Emo, there's a regen rune also over the jump. Old 11 caught, under control, in trouble, going to die. Has buyback, 80 seconds away. Ori hoping to get a little bit of help there onto DY, who's chased down by the combo. Emo low on mana though, and now the turn with the stun. Emo, he doesn't have that much left with the BKB out. Old 11 now wanting to chase this one down. What else do they have left in the tank? Morphling's back up in 2 seconds. Emo went in so deep and ends up getting punished for it. What a
now
great
the chase
fight.
down.
And looking for Kaka. The chase is there. Morph is there for the finish. And now they're force out these couple of buybacks. Kaka is coming back, but can they take down Roche in time? They're actually just going to stick around for this one. He has to walk back out.
Oh, the Solar Crest too. They're getting the big damage on really fast here. Thanks to GY.
Easy peasy. Gotta be
careful.
Storm buys back as well. And yeah, he's going to run in on 11, trying to play a little bit of interference, and that's enough to get the Aegis on Poyoyo. Still in Earthshaker form. Retreats back again. And that is enough. Man, Vici got away with one there. Old 11 just throwing his body on the line.
Yeah, very dangerous fight there. Whoa, they came back.
The turn and the egg. The BKB out, he's done. Emo tries to salvage this with Ori dead. Can he do it all on his own right now for Poyoyo? Fly walks away and then through it. Vici decided to go back in on this. We'll see if that ends up being punished now as JT walks in, hoof stomp afterwards, switching down. This is not the way he's supposed to go. Aegis gonna be reclaimed, and do they have a second round of it now? Lincoln's it's still on cooldown. They get the Doom off. The chase down is there, and Poyoyo to fall. 3 dead for Vici. IG, they waited it out.
Just half a hero there without the Shaker. Excellent idea from IG. It's very scary, obviously, fighting to anyone who has the Aegis, but more Shaker, no Shaker, you know, you're not built the same as a normal morph, right? You're not gonna have that same tools available to you, and you've invested so much in utilizing this combo. Find a very big punish here from IG. Bold to go for it, but they sort of had an idea of what was happening through a lot of that too, because they placed that really deep ward as well up on that high ground.
Right.
After when the previous fight went kind of poorly and they lost the Emo.
But again, the decision to go back in for that quick pickoff.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like a bit too greedy in the end as they eventually run down Poyoyo.
And then even having everything ready after the Aegis there too.
Right. There was just nothing left in the tank, and that Lincoln's coming back off cooldown. You can see JT feeling himself.
Yeah.
And Vici,
not so much. It's like, oof. Now time for them to regroup here. Morph Shaker, still terrifying. And they actually still have the shard sitting at the fountain right now, so that will be on the Morphling once the respawn is there.
20 seconds away.
Oh, in this room here. Oh, they
find old 11. Quick pick. Emo tried to look for more afterwards, but there was nothing else doing.
That ward from so long ago paying off big time.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And that's going to keep them offset too, right? Like that's actually a massive loss for Vici, because that's another 70 seconds, and IG, no, that was a dieback again from the Shaker, so they can just go for these tier 2s without any threat. So that means that Vici, they got to improvise here. They got to find some sort of a solution with this Morphling without the Shaker. I don't think they want to just give these up for free here. I mean, especially when the Doom's not up.
It's just so difficult. And they also just picked up something else, a rarely seen item on Spectre, the BKB. Everybody else is buying it that's a core nowadays, so why not? But you see it's speaking to a problem in Viici's draft. Without that Shaker there, Morphling really doesn't have that much damage.
Well, IG, they're not going to rush anything here, though. Just going to relax it back. Just going to hang out in the river and keep controlling these runes. Now Emo has an Arcane ready for the next one there, too. And also eyeing up the Scythe. So, you know, you're talking about these BKBs and maybe looking to catch and punish, particularly onto Ori as well as Old 11.
Ori actually decides to take the shard instead, so they're going to have the split earth.
After all that. I like that considering the game state, right? That is definitely a very defensive shard when they try and come high ground. Perhaps a worrying sign for how VG are feeling about this game.
And just look at the vision that you have right now from IG. Like, those 3 observer wards scouting all of the movements that Vici might want to make.
So they have smoked, and they're following Ori. Trying not to let their presence be known here, but, you know, the bait of the Spectre was successful. Very much doubting this one will be, and whoopsie.
Oh.
Just a simple Shadow Step, causing the BKB to come out. Oh, maybe that is the biggest bait. I'll just pop my BKB if the Shadow Step.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's so scary about it, though, right? It's just like any vision. You know, you don't know what's coming in. Like, he doesn't want to just get, like, you know, jumped on by the storm or something, so he's sort of panicked BKB.
Or doomed or what have you, any of those things. Like, if he can get the Pulse Nova off and then BKB, that's maybe going to be enough damage dealt out by him to make it worth it. But 40 seconds. And in that time, IG don't have an Aegis themselves, but can play pretty aggro out on this map. Play around their high ground vision.
JT just has to make sure he doesn't make a misstep here again. I would be so scared if I was him, trying to ensure that I'm not going to hamper my Morph in another engagement.
Oh, you mean Earthshaker, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Jeez, man.
Old 11.
I don't know why I'm so obsessed with JT Shaker today. Can't get it out of my head.
Nonetheless.
But JT as well.
Yeah.
You know, on this
very
dude.
important.
Yeah, nailed it. It's only like the 6th time I've done this game. I'm sure it's fine. Telescope picked up here.
Okay.
All right. That's not bad. It's not really great, this game, for any of them, particularly. It's pretty nice for Snap, actually. Give me some neutrals here. Are you guys saving neutral items this game?
Radiant are scanning.
Do IG group together.
Okay, we're a little busy with the game deciding fight. Okay, I gotcha.
They're
That's
showing.
cool.
And speaking of neutrals, that ninja gear, that's pretty clutch for the Doom.
Oh, that's actually so frustrating to play against.
You can see that IG, like Fly just has no interest in doing anything but haunting in for a fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of the same mentality that you need on Old 11. In terms of just like, I need to live.
Oh, he just ran into all of them. The Echo's not enough. The BKB came out. Ori in trouble. Ori dead. Just like that, it happens. And is there anything else left in the tank now? Jump forward to the Doom. They caught him. What a play from JT. You monster. Unreal. PYW's going to get ran down by Fly. And at this point, the TP out. He ends up not even getting out of there, indeed.
Yeah.
Vici lose 3, lose 4. IG are just too good.
We talk a lot about the ease of execution in Dota, and you can just see it there, how easy these fights look for IG because of that haunt. And the confidence that Emo has in the team to back him up.
I think that was like, Emo saw him walk back into the trees and he's like, there are so many people that just hide in those trees and wait for a fight, and just started it. No fear from Emo.
Yeah, and then Kaka, too, gets a little juke back in the tree wraparound there, too, which helped bait the Morphling over there, which got the Doom out. And now onto the high ground they go. IG. Masterful game plan here. And Vici, you know, again, they felt like they kind of had this lead. It was building up. But IG, they wait for their moment, they strike.
Unbelievable performance so far, and with 40 seconds left before the heroes start showing back up again, they've got 30 until Shaker. IG might just be able to go for it all. They turn their sights now onto these tier 4 towers, try and close this one out and secure themselves further battle. It TI10 knocking out Vici Gaming. Can they do it though? Last couple of seconds, tier 4s are hard to go through. They don't have a ton of tower pushing potential themselves, so a little ways away. Old 11 gonna buy back. Have they gone around too far here? BKB out. And just like that, they're going to TP away. The game continues. as IG respecting that danger coming from their opponents.
Yeah, I mean, there were tier 2s up on the other lanes anyway, so like, might as well push and pressure. Maybe you can force out that like 10-second left buyback on the Morphling and just really end this one. But they at least get the Shaker, so Old 11 under threat once more. They're going to move into the base. They've gone for the smoke.
Trying to find somebody. You have to imagine that they know about this on IG.
But now the Scythe is there too.
Oh, it's so scary. So much control. Jumps in.
Emo has a
Fissure
regen,
opening.
too.
Maybe an opportunity. Waveform through dead. That's one. Kaka breaks the Lincolns. Now looking for more. Jumps through. Tries to catch for the kill onto Kaka. Switching back into the other form. Snapfire ultimate coming out as Emo turns now onto Old 11. Tries to kill him up with a force after the low ground and gets away. BKB out, but the Fissure not enough to keep him alive. Emo out of mana, but the jump back in. JT catches him again. The Doom is out, and they try and stop this. Ori runs in as the last, but he just doesn't have enough. He'll kill Kaka, and actually, with Flyfly walking back in, they might be able to do something. Good Yule Scepter lift up, muted. This Doom is lasting forever, and in the end, they got a second one as they chase down Ori, dead again. IG, bring them all back home.
I can talk about something wonderful from every single player on IG this game, but to me, part of that also just comes down to like Flyfly and the way that he's enabling his team in these fights, always holding out for those perfect haunts and the shadow steps. He's not getting greedy. You know how hard this is for core players? Think about how long this guy was just like the absolute poorest core in the entire game, just understanding how crucial he is to them getting back into this one with that use of the vision.
And PYW will get caught again. Flyfly there to play cleanup. So many sick plays as he was going for that arcane rune and gets punished. Unbelievable play from IG here, who come back from leaving an Aegis in the pit in game number 1 and managed to win it still. And now in game number 2, coming back again. Just
having
patience, so good.
It's such a huge lead right now here too. Like, there's no buyback on this Morphling. Everything is on the table for this next fight. They're gonna push through one of these tier 2s, have them all done. They're gonna come to your base, and that could be the end. Like, VG, you're sitting there right now in that booth, you're just thinking, like, the next fight, that's the end of our TI run.
That might just happen right now if they're not careful. JT spots them both there. Waveform to open. Jump in from Emo. So often he's been the one to do it for him. As they try and chase, try and get the pullback. Do they have enough for the kill? All the control in the world. No more Morphling left alive. They turn now on to DY. He too will fall. Well, Old 11 comes back in the Fissure, but the 2 cores are dead. All the damage is gone. Emo will eventually die there, but has the buyback come out immediately afterwards. And IG, with 100 seconds left, Roche is gonna spawn again in a second.
Wow.
They're still gonna play it that safe.
They really respect Earthshaker, I guess. It's like, guys, we have 100 seconds. We can go kill Roche surely and come back to the base.
Yeah, that's rolling spawn right there. You know, they want to get another shot. They got to practice the Aegis pickup.
You know, he's actually going to have enough Dooms that he can doom all the remaining heroes on Vici.
That's right.
I say we give him the triple, guys. I think IG can do it.
See if they can make it happen.
I love how they're still scanning here, too. Like,
yeah, they are not wanting to give this one up. So Aegis into the hands of Emo, and the double refresh Doom. Ready to go with that Arcane Blink as well.
They still look so serious right now from IG.
After that game number 1, you can't afford to throw anything away here. So they run it down the mid lane. Old 11 looking for the jump. The big echo. Wait a minute. He catches him. Kaka goes down dead. But Flyfly shows up and the BKB is out. The silence is there. Egg afterwards. All the Vici fall in. All dead. Good game. Well played. All the IG top 4. They got a date with Spirit.
Good luck next here from Vici. Their opponents throughout the DPC. They're going to toss the torch over, as at least one of these 2 teams will continue. IG, pretty, I don't know, pretty dominant 2-0, honestly. Like, VG had their moments where it felt like they were in the lead and they should have been controlling the game, but it was very brief. It was like flashes of like, oh, VG have got this, but there was always sort of this like overarching just like theme of IG just looks so good right now.
Yeah, and I think, again, like how solid this performance was. You got to think it's going to give them some good prep and readiness for their series later on today. But for now, let's head on back to the panel.
Thank you very much, Lyrical and Trent. Well, Coach Fenrir of Vici Gaming did say going into that match that I know my first draft for game one was greedy, but this time the draft was won by IG, and so was